Streaming. We are streaming. We are streaming. my dog barks. She's like, woo! Okay, let's get down to business. To write some code. Okay, okie dokie then. Right? Okay, pop out the chats. Pop out the chats. Okay. Am I good? Am I good? Do I pin the chat? Do I pin the chats? Let me see here. Wait, why didn't that show up on my... Why didn't it show up? Hello again. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. You're here early. Wait, is it broken? Okay, now it's working. Okay. Let's see here. Unreal Engine. Game, I don't know. I'm not gonna pin a chat. Fuck it. Okay. What to do. I think I finished up, for the most part, the velocity processor improvements yesterday. For the most part. There's probably, there still seems to be a couple instances where I've seen people falling through the world. But they have been very, very few and far between. God damn. Very few and far between. So I'm just gonna do some performance testing now, because I am doing like a bunch of line traces, right? A bunch of them. Okay, I was gonna say, why didn't those unload? Yeah, they should unload. They did. They did unload. So yeah, we're gonna be moving and grooving here. Moving and grooving. There's the guys, they're spawning. I'll probably need to wait for everything to get online. Yeah. Oh, I should probably do serialization stuff as well. Fuck. Oh, dude, serializing the entity system is gonna be... That's gonna be like a week-long thing for sure. For fucking sure. Oh boy. Yeah, so one thing I want to do, I'm just gonna let that run for a little bit. One thing I wanted to do is test out parallel force in comparison to velocity processors. What is high? I don't know what high means. Is that on a background thread? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it run. We're just gonna let it run. It should be spawning things still. Okay, the nav mesh, oh, there it is. Okay, nav mesh is done, almost done. A few extra tiles to do. Can we take a quick peek? Dare I take a quick peek at the visual logger without crashing the fucking system? Quick peek, just see how everything's running. Stop. And we're good. We've got 1,000 entities. No one's fallen. No one's falling through the ground. That's looking good. That's looking so hot. Are we spawning any more, or are we done? We are. Oh, we're spawning more, baby. Oh, that is a lot. No one's falling. No one has fallen and can't get up. That's wonderful. I love that for me. I love that for me. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We're doing some game dev today. Some pre-work game dev. Here's my world. It's a procedural world. So this is all like generated at runtime on the fly. You know, every world is a different seed, you know, like Minecraft. Very much like that. Each one of these is like a terrain chunk, right? And so it's a big world. Here's me. Every single pixel on this map is a terrain chunk. It's 128 by 128, which I think is like about 1.5 kilometers in size, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, so all these different colors are like different zones with like different names. This is Howling Fjord, the Festering Bog, the Blightwood Thicket, the Sunken Crypt. I mean, come on, people. The shit writes itself. It doesn't. But Shade Warden Hollow. But they'll each be like different biomes with different assets, different terrain noises. Like the terrain noise that I'm in here is like my big hills kind of noise. And then over here in this zone, it's like a little lower down over here. And then I've got like these little border mountains in between each zone. See this little mountain line right here? 2 different zones. And yes, I need to blend the textures from zone to zone. So yeah, a lot of work to still do. But that's like the edge right here. And then these white dots are like how you can get from zone to zone. Those are my zone entrance chunks. Looks so amazing, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite is what I'm planning for. I'm trying to combine those 3 genres, the genres, into something really, really fun and satisfying. So I'm thinking something like World of Warcraft, kind of slower paced combat. And I think that'll actually play really well with the colony simulator raids, like, because you're going to build a colony, you're going to be running around in the world, right? And you're going to be, you know, there's some enemies and stuff in the world. Some of these will be colonists that you can, like, recruit, you know? You go over here, you can, like, do some fireballs, hit him with the dots. Okay, just, yeah, his pathfinding was a little wonky there. Yeah, my animations suck, but it's all placeholder assets. All placeholder assets. Yeah, you'll be going around fighting stuff, killing colonists, or not killing colonists, recruiting colonists, killing baddies. And there's a little bit of a building system that I've got going on in here. You know, let's put a little foundation down on some flat ground, hopefully. Let's find some flatter ground here. You're gonna go right there. Cool, cool. Yeah, build a little house too. And so you'll be setting up the colonies, the houses and the structures for your colony. You can go around and chop trees. I already have some wood in my inventory, so that's how we're building. You'll probably want to send your colonists to go like construct this stuff for you. They'll have skills for like how well can they construct, how well can they plant, how well can they chop trees or craft things, you know. And you'll want to build up those skill sets for them, and then they get better and better. And then, you know, maybe your colony gets attacked, you know. So while you're out exploring, you'll want to make sure you have defenses set up for your colonies and stuff. It's going to be destructible terrain as well, which is technically working, but just proof of concepted now. So the destructible terrain is nice because then it's like, you know, you don't have to find the entrance from zone to zone, which happens to be right here. Happens to be this little gap right here is the entrance. So with the destructible terrain, you could potentially just send some colonists here to, you know, dig a tunnel through it, which would be cool, right? Or you can find a RNG tunnel already, which is really cool too. Because like, see how that tunnel just went from one side to the other? Like you can just come across that and be like, oh cool, I found a new zone with a tunnel that, you know, an entrance that's not on the map. So RPG Colony Sim Roguelite, RPG something like vanilla WoW, lots of classes to choose from. I have a really shitty talent tree. You know, all the classes will have different vibes and different talent trees, and then as you level up, you'll get to choose from like random abilities to like build out your kit, like your you know, for your run. And when you die, of course, you start over at level 1, but there will be some sort of meta progression as well. You start back at your colony, but your colony's still there, so hopefully it's still there once you've died and it hasn't been like raided or something by enemies. How many days have you been working on this, man? I've been working on this project for about 2.5 years, 2 to 3, almost going on 3 years now. I think it's like 3 in November. Arcoli, welcome in. Golden Gamer, welcome in as well. So yeah, that's what we're working on. And one of the things I want to do with the game is I want the whole world to be running, right? Because when I love games like RimWorld, that's like one of my favorite colony sims. Now, RimWorld has like a tile-based world where let's say like each one of these squares on here is like a different map. And so you can zoom out and you can go to the world map, but then there's nothing actually running outside of the tile that you're on. And then you can, you know, move your pawns to the tile, and then it will turn the tile on. So it's like not a full world sim. It's not trying to be, but that was always something that I wanted to do, and I wanted that to be for the world to be alive and all these things to be running and stuff like that. So what I had to do is I had to build my own ECS system, which is like it's just a type of architecture that you can use to efficiently process a lot of data. And that's what these guys are. These are just bits of data. Like, they're not actually like, you know, I'm just faking it. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Like, that guy's not actually animated. He's not. It's a vertex animated texture, which means I take the animations and I bake them to a texture. And then I send them all to the GPU and I apply them to a static mesh, which it means it, you know, doesn't fucking change or anything. I apply them to a static mesh, and then I send data to the GPU to like move it around. So that's actually a static mesh that is being deformed by world position offset, vertex baked bones and animations, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of fucking crazy. What game is that? It's my game. It's a game I'm working on. It's called My Project at the moment. Doesn't have a name. Doesn't have a name. But yeah, I want the whole world to be online at all times, or at least as much as possible. So that's why I wrote this ECS system. And as a part of that, I kind of have to redo everything that's like built into Unreal Engine, right? Like, I can't have collision on these guys because collision needs to happen on the game thread. And so that guy doesn't have collision, but I can click on him because I have to like iterate over all the entities and figure out which one, you know, just based on its location, does the line, the hypothetical line that's being drawn from my camera pass through. Then I have to act like it's a cylinder, and I do a box cylinder overlap check. It's a huge pain in the ass. It's a huge pain in the ass, but it runs very, very well. We're running like 70 frames, and we've got like how many entities going right now? So when I run the visual logger, it's quite laggy. Oh, and no one has fallen to the ground. Oh, this is great. We've got like almost 1,300 entities now running, and we're like 70 FPS, or we were before I started the before I started the vlogger. Where did it go? Did I close it? I closed it. Okay. Oh, too many windows open. But yeah, they're all running on the background thread, so I had to like rewrite the collision system, kind of. I'm like, you know, I'm just writing what I need to, so I'm not like rewriting a whole collision system, but I'm just kind of doing like line traces, and I'm doing things like putting these entities into different chunks into kind of like a bounding volume hierarchy, which is the spatial data structure that is used for collision systems, basically. And it allows you to store things based on their location. So like, you know, when I click here and I actually target that guy that's up there, so there's the, you know, that's how I can tell I'm targeted. And then I actually do put a, you know, little circle on him, little target circle. But when I do that, like, it actually is only iterating over the local entities within, I think it's like a 3,000 grid box. So what we've been working on is this, we've been working on the velocity processor, which handles moving them, applying the velocity that has been calculated by like the path following processor. And we take that velocity and we do a bunch of these like collision checks that I wrote to make sure that I'm walking on the terrain. You know, if I ran into a slope, can we walk up the slope? And then I do gravity as well. That's what we've been working on for about the past week, and we're finally getting to a point where none of them are falling through the ground. Like, it was working okay at first, and then they would like hit like a little fucking ledge or something, and then they would just fall through the ground. They didn't know how to like step up onto a ledge or anything like that. UI looks a lot like World of Warcraft. I like that. Yeah, I'm heavily inspired by like Vanilla WoW and stuff, and I'm ripping some of the borrowing some of the assets there. So, game is that? It's an RPG, or like it'll be an RPG. It'll be an RPG. So lots of abilities to choose from, different classes to choose from. There will be more than one action bar. There's just one action bar for now. A lot of work to do still. Running the whole world seems interesting, but I think that would be highly computationally expensive. Yeah, that's it. The entire reason why I wrote my own collision system, my own ECS system, my own gravity processor, and we're gonna performance test it. So let's validate that right now. That's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to test out doing like what I'm doing is just kicking it off to a background task and running it all in one go for like processing the velocity for all the entities. But I also want to check out using a parallel for, which kind of splits off every single entity into its own task rather than one task for all entities. So I wanted to play around with that difference. So here's the performance, and we're kind of we're quite GPU bound at the moment, and that's because none of my assets are optimized for nanite. So let's look at the velocity processor. Yeah. Okay. What are we looking like? So yeah, here's the velocity processor. It's taking about 34 milliseconds for 1,300 entities. Right there. Let's Look at some other ones. Yeah, so this is completely on the background thread. And it just kind of runs as it can, right? And I have the delta times and stuff like that, so it does move them properly despite, you know, how much time. It doesn't run, it might not run every frame. 34 seconds, obviously it doesn't, or 34 milliseconds, it won't run every frame at that rate. But I wanted to see the parallel 4s maybe might make this a little better. You can see some of my other processors in here, like target processor and state tree processor, stuff like that. I love it. You're adding and reworking the stuff that's already there. Yeah, that's my middle name. Rewrite what's already there. Yeah, so another thing, you'll love this though. If you like rewriting things, you'll love this. So because it's a procedural world and I want the whole world online, I can't possibly have all of these chunks meshed, right? I can't actually have a mesh for all of these chunks. Like here's some of the vertex and triangle data if it shows up properly. It gets very laggy when I turn this on, but you can start to see it'll start to materialize here. These are all like the triangles from the mesh that are generated, again, procedurally generated. So I have a bunch of compute shaders that generate all this stuff, and then a marching cubes compute shader that like connects it all together and meshes it and stuff. But I just take this data here, like the raw index and vertex buffers, and one thing I do is I just export that data directly to the nav mesh rather than waiting for collision. Because usually the nav mesh uses collision. That's how it knows the nav. Like if I look here, the green is the nav mesh. That's how it knows, like, hey, don't put a nav mesh on the tree, so my my entities don't run through the fucking tree, right? But here there is no mesh. There's actually no mesh, and it's not just not visible, which is different than not being a mesh. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. But because I have that index and vertex buffer data that I can export to the nav mesh knows what the terrain is going to be when it eventually gets there. Same goes for all these assets spawning. I spawn these assets with a tool called PCG in Unreal Engine. It's called, it stands for Procedural Content Generation. It's just like a little graph thingo that you can use. And you can use a bunch of like RNG and noise and stuff like that to spawn things. And so like, you can see there's all these caves down here, and there's going to be caves here. There's going to be caves here whenever the chunks actually get meshed. And this is important because it's saving on memory. If I actually meshed these chunks or had meshes here, it would take up more memory. And I can't do that for the whole world, right? It's too big. Too big. You'd need 16 gigs minimum. You'd probably need 64 gigs minimum actually to run the whole world if I did that. So I had to write my own collision system for the terrain as well. Like I'm storing that vertex and index buffer data in my own like spatial data structure, which is like a bounding volume hierarchy, which is very similar to the entities as well. And so you can actually, instead of iterating over every single triangle in the terrain chunk and doing like a line, segment, triangle, intersection on each fucking triangle, you can just do this spatial mesh, this bounding volume hierarchy, and you can like drastically cut down on the number of triangles that you need to look through and do that intersection test for. So yeah, there's also entities out here running around. There's also entities out there running around. You don't see them, they're not rendered, they're just little bits of data, you know, getting moved around and processed in memory. So super efficient. Super efficient. Making environment like Hellblade 2, how to do. You're gonna need a lot more background knowledge. I would recommend just trying to get into the game development a little bit. You know, just how to. You're shooting for the stars right now, and you're not gonna find. There's not an answer for that question, right? There's a lot that goes into that question. You gotta start small. Start smaller than that. Borrowing, yes, borrowing. You have to use the assets. You can't do it on your own. It would take forever. What assets? These are all placeholder assets. These are all like free assets that I picked up. The trees, the rocks, the textures, the little fake models here, dummy models, all the cave stuff. Yeah, it's all like placeholder stuff that I've picked up. And I am no artist, so I won't be creating my own assets by any means. But I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. But anyways, yeah, here's the world. RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain, armor of invincibility, Shade Warden Hollow. The Mountains of Madness, Emberbloom Field. So this is all like AI generated names as well. And I do have a system. I don't have any colonists spawned in the world, so I can't show this off right now, but I have AI generated quests, like LLM generated quests. And like right now what that means is like you can walk up to a colonist, which is just like a green version of this guy, and you can just say generate a quest. And what I do is I essentially just dump my entire item database and everything spawned into the world into a prompt. And I say, hey, generate like a fantasy video game quest and put it into this JSON object. And the Gemini API, because it has like such a big context window, can handle all that and actually does a pretty good job of generating little quests. And I've actually been able to like spawn things into the world from an AI generated quest, like for the player to go kill and stuff like that. And so AI generated quests are going to be really cool with like these names for the zones, right? This is the Ageless Woods, the Church of Faith, which is a weird zone name. Festering Bog. It's supposed to be a desert. Like if you look up here, there's some information up here. Boreal Expanse, Waterstone Lake, Whitefire Canyon, Shadewatch Abyss. And eventually I'll be like kind of annotating what is in these zones, what's spawned in these zones, annotating them, like, you know, coming up with tags, like human readable descriptions, you know, like for this zone, it'd be like, oh, this is a very, you know, mountainous zone with, you know, like lush grass and dense forests. And there's mushrooms and there's big caves, you know, what would you call this zone? I'll do something like that to the AI. And hopefully these names will start to make a little bit more sense, because right now I'm just being like, hey, give me a bunch of random names. And that's why it comes up with the Mirror of Truth as a zone name, which doesn't quite make sense. But if you imagine a world, Ironwood Highlands, like imagine if I said like, oh, it has trees that are really, really hard and produce a wood that is similar in density to iron. Like it would make sense for the AI to name that Ironwood Highlands or whatever. The placeholders would have took forever to create. Yeah, I am no artist either, so I'm not... you don't want to see me make... Here's me making an animation. Look at this animation. It ain't good. You see another homemade animation? It's not good. And there's my deformable terrain right there. There's proof that I can deform the terrain. It looks horrible, but it is deformed. And I haven't textured it properly, so... Yeah. It's there, it exists. It did change the terrain. It added way too many vertices, which is just not realistic at all, because that's just increasing the amount of memory that's taken up. But yeah, I will not be making the assets. I'm not an artist. I'm a programmer. I'm a programmer, not an artist. But yeah, I think the AI generated stuff will be really cool. I think it'll be really cool. The hard part with it is just like getting it grounded into the world is gonna be like the hardest part, like making sure it, you know, stays on topic and shit, you know. That's such a good start. Thank you. What you do with the NPC is genius. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's what we're working on today, and I wanted to do some performance testing here. So we have our velocity processor taking 34 milliseconds. Now I wonder if I can just live coding this pretty easily or not. So we have this function for process entity. Why don't I, let me see what a parallel 4 does here. I haven't used these very much. What is parallel 4 impl? Oh, that's a namespace. How are you doing terrain? It's procedural terrain. So they're dynamic mesh components that I've generated with different noise compute shaders. I have a height map generator. I have a 3D noise compute shader generator and a marching cubes. Assuming not voxel based. Yes and no. Yes and no. I use marching cubes and the 3D noise I use. Those are both like voxelized algorithms. So if we like look at the triangles here, you will see like a resolution to this, right? Like this is kind of voxely. This is kind of a voxely, right? But the height map is generated at a certain resolution as well, so you'd see something similar on the height map. But I like stitch the two together, and you can see I kind of do it a little shittily, because then I get sections like this that I need to work those out. Like that should be a lot smoother. But when I connect the height map and the 3D noise together, the 3D noise is like all the caves and stuff and the overhangs. The height map is everything on the surface. And so when I connect them together with marching cubes, the way they get stitched together, it doesn't pay attention to a voxel size at all. Same when I deform the terrain, it doesn't clamp to a voxel. So there's no like, it's not inherently voxelized. It's not like restricted to a voxel resolution at all. So it's like yes and no. Like, is it mostly voxel? Yeah. But is it restricted to that? No, it's not. It looks smooth for marching cubes. I think it could be better. It's just, you know, you just increase the resolution enough, but like, you know, this doesn't look smooth, you know, and these are the, I'm not too worried about like floating bits of terrain and stuff, but like, there's also an algorithm called dual contouring, and I guess also marching tetrahedrons are two other algorithms that you can use that apparently are a bit better, right? But if I could crank the like I have an LOD system for these terrain chunks, I could crank up the resolution and it would look a little bit better around the edges, you know, like these little bits that I'm showing. But it would take up more memory, so it would also take more time to generate. I don't fully understand, but it sounds cool. Well, I'm happy to go into more detail about any of the steps. Yeah, welcome in everyone. Happy Monday. Good morning. It's morning here, so I say good morning. But I am working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain. And so I'm thinking something like, you know, vanilla WoW, combat, classes, talents, abilities. Not an MMO. Multiplayer, I do hope to get multiplayer working. It's not really working at the moment, but so something like vanilla WoW plus a colony sim, something like a RimWorld, like a really depthy colony sim where the individual pawns mean a lot, right? Like you get to know the personalities of these individual pawns. Like they have little personality traits and little quirks. Like some people are like pyromaniacs, and so when they get, you know, when they have like a mental breakdown, they might go on like a fucking fire starting spree, which leads to a lot of fucking hilarious moments. Like there was a moment where like I learned, yeah, hey, don't store your mortar shells next to the chem fuel and wood, which you'd think would be obvious, but when you're starting to play a game, you're just like, oh yeah, just store everything in a giant fucking building. And anyway, this colonist got pissed off because his wife died or something. I don't know. You know, don't you hate it when they get annoyed at shit like that? His wife died or something after a raid that like came in and like attacked the fucking base, and he had a mental break. He fucking snapped, and he just went and like, he either started a fire or he just punched a mortar shell. Of course it exploded. The chem fuel was right next to it. That fucking exploded. My entire storage room fucking exploded. And there's also like heat in the game. In RimWorld, there's like heat. And so like I built my base in like one compound. And so everything was connected. It superheated my entire base, killed every one of my fucking colonists. And that guy was my medic too. He was my only medic. So like people were fucking dying and I couldn't do anything about it. But that's just RimWorld for you. And anyway, that's the kind of thing I want to emulate. I love that kind of stuff. And it doesn't focus on like a large scale colony simulation. It kind of focuses on smaller scale, which I really like because, like I said, you get to know these colonists a little bit more. And what I've done here is like, these are AI generated as well, but I just dump a bunch of pre-generated stuff into a database, and like I pick a couple like personality traits, like this is compassionate and brave, and I get a little childhood and a background. But anyways, this all gets fed into my AI generated quests and any dialogue that results therein from that quest. So hopefully that'll just increase that level of personality and quirkiness that you get from a game like RimWorld, and I'm hoping to do that. And what I've always wanted when I play RimWorld is I want to be down in that world, right? Like I want to be a part of that chaos that is, you know, the crazy person fucking punching a mortar shell because he slept on the ground one night or some shit, you know? Like I want to be down in there experiencing that alongside these colonists, and I want to get to know them as like a player of the game, right? Not from this like top-down omniscient perspective that a lot of colony sims do. So that's what I'm hoping to do here. But yeah, for everyone just tuning in, I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite game. This is Unreal Engine C++. Procedural destructible terrain. Every single pixel we see on here is like a terrain chunk, and the different colors are different zones. And so I kind of modeled this on the medic said everyone die, basically. Yeah, he's like, you know, fuck this, I'm out of here. He went out in a blaze of glory. It is for sure. But I kind of modeled these zones based off of WoW zones, where like each zone is like very distinct, and it doesn't just kind of like blend from one zone to another, kind of like in Minecraft. It just goes from biome to biome, right? The biomes don't have names, they don't have stories, they don't have NPCs that are grounded in that zone that know what zone they're in and act like they're in that fucking zone, right? I want NPCs like in World of Warcraft, where the zone, you know, it's contained, it's defined either by some natural landmarks. Like it's usually mountains, which is what I've done. So like on the edges of the zones, I have these mountains here that kind of create a distinct zone. So I want the player to go in here, like, you know, kind of do a zone, right? You know, go to the zone, find whatever town is in the zone, find some NPCs, do some quests for the zone, follow the storyline of that zone, kind of move to the next one. And then maybe there's a little bit of back and forth, maybe a little bit. And then these white dots are like the entrances to zones, which are just randomly generated as well. So there might not always be an entrance from zone to zone, right? Like there could be like a dependency chain ring of zone entrances to where you have to like this one right here, you might not be able to get. Well, yeah, you can go from here to there to there to there to there. Okay. But so you may have to find another way into the zone. You may have to dig through the mountains. You may have to find a cave. You can build stairs up the mountains and back down the mountains on the other side. So that's a little bit of the procedural world. That's why I want to. That's why I'm kind of modeling the zones this way. I want them to be defined, contained things. And I think it creates like a really cool. Like right now, I just have all the same biome, but like these are two different zones. And eventually I'll have, it'll look different, right? I only have two graphs right now. One is for like a meadows and one is for like a forest, which is what the forest one is what we're looking at, obviously. But when you go from a zone to a new zone, it's like completely different. Like the terrain noise is different. It'll be different assets, different mobs, different stories. So it'll kind of create this like really cool sense of like awe when you walk into a new zone, right? You kind of cross that threshold. You get to the top of the mountain. You can look over and see the new zone. And I think it's a really powerful moment, and I think it's more powerful than when you find a new biome in like Minecraft or Valheim or something, you know. New to programming, do you think programming with C++ instead of blueprints makes the game lighter? Not necessarily lighter. For some things, it will be more performant. Like for me, like the procedural generation, it needs to be very performant. My ECS system, processing all the entities on the background threads, that all has to happen in C++. That can't happen in blueprints. But there are entire games that have been made with blueprints. So lighter in terms of like size, no. In terms of performance, maybe, but it's not necessary. Not necessary. Any games you're excited about in the summer sale? Haven't looked at all. Haven't looked at all. Hi, man. How are you? I'm well. I'm well. How are you? Welcome in, everyone. So yeah, that's what we're working on. Let me show off. I got like procedural tree chopping as well, or I should say dynamic tree chopping. Let's go up here. So in a game like in most games, when you chop a tree, it chops at the same place every time you chop it, right? But for mine, these are static meshes, and then when the axe connects with it, it actually subtracts. If I can, my animation is really shitty, but when the axe connects with it, it actually chops it where the axe is. Right? Check that out. I think that's really fucking cool and satisfying. And my animation sucks, so I can't aim very well. I'm gonna work on this more. But then eventually, ignore the textures that are bad. But eventually you chop it and it falls, and you get some wood in your inventory for that. Eventually I'll make and the physics are a little janky indie physics there, but eventually I'll make the colonists like have to pick up this log and take it to like some sort of lumber mill or something, or they have to go chop up the log to actually get the wood from it. You have to process it somehow, right? So yeah, and now there's just a stump here that is just entirely up to you to clean up. Pretty sure that's illegal. Not only you have a bill in trees, but you can also chop it. Yes, yes. Oh, you're saying that's legal. No, a lot of games do that. A lot of games don't do the dynamic part of it, which is what I was trying to show off there. Are you a game developer? I'm a software engineer for my day job. I just like to do game development for hobby program, free time stuff, which is fun. Yeah, you get wood commensurate to the volume of the trunk. So like, I think that stump is a little taller, so I probably got like a little bit less wood from that. But yeah, more work needs to be done on that. I'll eventually have tree dominoes too, like in Valheim, you know, where like if the tree falls on you, it does damage to you, but if it falls against another tree, it'll do damage to that tree. So I think that'll be really fun, really satisfying tree chopping. Love me some good tree chopping in games. Ding. Level 2. Chopping system, very satisfying. Hell yeah. I'm glad you think so. It'll get more satisfying. It's pretty proof of concepted now. You can see the textures it placed on the sections are not correct. Those aren't correct materials. It thinks there's a leaf on the bottom of the trunk there. It ain't right. And then you can still chop the stumps too, if you can get an angle to do so. So yeah, you just got this like little little fucking stump there. I think eventually I'll like maybe you hit this with like a pickaxe or something. I don't know, to like get the stump out. Hit it with a pickaxe or like a shovel or something. Are you gonna make it where if the tree falls on you it'll do damage? Yeah, that's what I was talking about, tree dominoes. Yeah. So similar to I really like how Valheim did that. Valheim has very satisfying tree chopping, where like it not only will deal damage to you, it'll deal damage to other mobs as well. It'll deal damage to enemies, and it'll deal damage to other trees. And so like what you can do in Valheim is like you can go and you can like, you know, hit this tree once, hit this tree once, and then like you can go over here and like, you know, maybe fully chop down this tree or something. And then when it starts to fall, you know, I push it a certain direction, but like, you know, in Valheim, you push it, and then it'll hit that tree. It'll deal damage to this tree, which will make it fall, and then it'll hit this tree, make it fall, and like you can have this moment of like just felling like a whole section of forest. That's like really satisfying in Valheim. So I hope to emulate that as well. I keep saying emulate, but what I really mean is steal shamelessly. That's I think that's what I mean actually. Insane, yeah. Also, software dev 10+. Oh yeah, me too. I also want to start building games. Any materials to start learning for me? I mean, if you've been a software engineer for 10+ years, you know, I assume you know how to learn new things, and you know how to Google and stuff like that. I don't know. I always learn by doing. I'm not a big like tutorial or course guy. I'm a college dropout too, so I don't have like classically trained education by any means. And just not making a game. He's simulating real life. I don't want it to be realistic. I don't think that's what you should go for in games, for the most part. For the most part. But yeah, I just learn by doing. I learn whatever I need to learn to finish what I'm doing, right? To get to the goal. So I'm a very learn as I go type of guy. And so that's, I don't have any specific like resources or anything. Just, you know, I don't know anything 3D. Yeah, you'll pick it up as you come across it. I like I said, I don't have a college education. I don't have any math skills other than some high school pre-calc. But I made it. You know, I made my own velocity processor. Velocity and gravity processor. Which is what I was trying to work on. What I'm trying to work on today. A little bit more of that. So you'll get there. Especially, you know how to learn new things. You're a software engineer for 10 years. I mean, you'll get it. But no, I don't have anything specific. It's a bit silly, but kind of fun. I think that's the best balance, right? It's got super realistic is not always fun. What program did you use to develop this? This is in Unreal Engine. This is Unreal Engine C++. But I wanted to check out the Parallel 4 and change my velocity processor over to this. And I haven't used these with pre-work. So it's a Parallel 4 loop with some pre-workout apparently. With existing task contexts. We'll just stick with like the base one for now. And then what do I want here? What are the number? Okay, so that's going to be entities, and I should probably, let's put this outside of the task I already have. So entities dot num. That, I guess that's how many loops I want to do. Is that right? Is that right? It seems right. What other params do I have? The parallel 4 flags. What is that? Parallel 4 flags. Background priority, force single thread. What is it by default? Oh, there's also a Boolean version of it. Okay, take me to the header file. Oh, this is the header file. I'm already here. I'm already here. I definitely don't want to force it to be single thread, nor do I need to pump the rendering thread. I'll just leave that blank for now. Just leave that blank for now. Process entity, entities, index. And we are doing a ref on the entities here. I don't know if that's okay. We might crash. We'll see. So yeah, let's we're just gonna, yeah, just fuck it. Let's just run live coding. And the processor's running right now, so it's gonna immediately switch over here to using, because before I'm taking all the entities that need their velocity processed and I'm putting it into a background thread and I'm just saying go do. And so it just does it all in one chunk. But the parallel 4 will dispatch each entity's processing into its own thread. Well, potentially, depending on, you know, it'll allocate the threads for me. So I'm going to see if this is better. And I do have this profile here for how long the velocity processor was taking, 34 milliseconds. And I'm doing a lot of my own line tracing, but thankfully the line tracing is quite performant. I mean, 117 microseconds, five microseconds. I mean, yeah, it's pretty tight, pretty tight. Live coding succeeded, and nothing's crashed, and guys are still moving, so that's good. Good to know. Let's do another trace, I suppose. We'll just trace a little bit. I'm just gonna let that run. We running. Well, I'm a dev student in France. What is the goal of the code? The goal of the velocity processor is to take the velocity that has been applied to the entities from various, you know, movement processors that do like path following and stuff like that, and figure out where their new location is supposed to be, and then also move them along the landscape and handle any, you know, if they need to step up on something, if they need to slide down a slope, and they handle any gravity, so if they need to fall as well. That is the goal of the velocity processor. Let's take a look at that parallel 4 and see how well it's looking now. It's probably, ooh, you know what I should have done? Ooh. Yeah, I'm not really going to be able to tell. I'm not even going to be able to tell because it's going to, I don't have anything like logging it, you know? Also, does the parallel 4 like wait for all of them to finish? Probably not. Please add stats around calls to parallel 4 and within your lambda as appropriate. Do not clog the task graph with long-running tasks or tasks that block. NPC space program. I mean, maybe. Okay. So I guess just this, and then I'll make one in here for just process entity. So we need to run live coding again because this is not going to show. This is not going to show. Ain't going to show nothing. And we're spending a lot of time. Oh, it's all on the game thread. Oops. Okay. It's oopsies. Oops. Okay. Literally did not what I wanted. Background priority, I guess, is what we would want. I thought it would do that by default, but silly me. Guess not. Guess not. Okay. So run live coding again. So you're a game dev? Just hobby game dev. Yeah. I am not. I do not actually work in the game development industry or anything. I'm just a software engineer. Just a humble software engineer. But welcome in, everyone. Happy Monday. What are your stacks and technologies? Oh, I'm all over the place. Too many to count. Numbers don't go that high. I'm kidding, but full stack. So you know, a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. So we do have the velocity processor running now. We are running it now. Things are running. And I need to get rid of, yeah, get rid of this one. That was a bad one. And we are getting worse and worse performance. It's still on the game thread! Why are you on the game thread? That's not what you're supposed to do. What is the parallel for? It runs very fast on the game thread, though. That's kind of nice. Because it was, what was it? What did I say it was in the other one? Let me pull that up. It was on the background threads, 32 milliseconds. Game thread, 7 milliseconds. So that's fucking... That's what I would call pretty fast. But there's also... Oh, there's some happening. Oh, it just uses the game thread sometimes. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. I don't want it on the game thread though. Can I do not game thread, please? That's what I would like. Flags. Debug name. That could be nice. Oh, that's the template. Parallel for internal. Flags, context. What other options do I have here? Num min batch size. I don't know what the min batch size should be, like 100? I don't know. Pump rendering thread. Or single thread. Why would I be doing a parallel 4 if I wanted to force it to be single thread? That's, to me, that's not what a parallel 4 is, but maybe I just don't understand. I don't understand. Okay. You know what I might do? Let's rebuild the engine. Let's rebuild the editor. And I'm gonna dig into this. Let's dig. The flags, which I hate that the source code for Unreal Engine has no line limits so much. Get number of thread tasks, flags, and unbalanced is unbalanced. Where does it actually dispatch it to the other threads, though? And background priority. So it should be, and background priority should be true. So we set priority equal to background normal. So it should be running on, and we use that all the way down here. Jesus. Parallel for data. Local executor. God, it does so much. It does so much. What are you? Go away. Can we have a shouting rabbit? Hey, if you want to make me the assets for that, you got to make the rabbit asset. You got to rig it. You got to give me the animations. I need idle. I need wander. I need movement back and forth. I need the shouting animation. I also need the shouting sound. If you can do, if you want to give me all those, I'm your guy. I can put that in there. As a dude with zero dev coding knowledge, what is entity and stacks? For me, an entity is just a thing in the world, and it is a thing that has data that I can process. So it's pretty generic. And I wrote an entity system to process the data on those entities. And a stack is a set of technologies that you are using. So like if someone asks, what's your tech stack that you do at work? It's like, hey, what programming languages and frameworks do you guys use at your job? That's what they're asking. Here's the procedural world generation though. It looks pretty cool if I do say so myself. There it goes. There it goes. There she goes. There she goes. All right, let me see how to do those first. I'll let you know. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Believe me, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just have the artistic skills to do that. You probably want to look into a program called Blender. Okay, this is the original one. I'm gonna move you up here. And then you are the parallel forward one. Let's close you. Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna need to wait for all the entities to spawn. Oh boy, we're spawning. Here they are. We spawning. So yeah, they're all popping up here now. 69 viewers, hell yeah. Nice. Nice. All right, no one leave or join. Yeah, for those who are just joining in, I'm working on a video game. This is Unreal Engine 5. And the video game is going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo. So I'm thinking something like Vanilla WoW minus the MMO, plus a game like RimWorld for the Colony Sim, plus like a roguelite like Hades or something, you know? Did you go to college for this? No. I actually dropped out of college after a couple years, so I'm just a software engineer. So this is just free time hobby stuff for me. Yeah, I'm kind of just waiting for all these guys to spawn. Kind of just waiting. Let's pop open the visual logger here. Let me see what we're working with. How many do we have so far? We're only at 670, so there's a lot more to spawn here. 600, 700, yeah, so we're still going. Just stop that. Stop. It gets, like, this visual logger, it, like, tracks all the entities' locations, and then I do it, like, a bunch of, like drawings for, like, all the different physics and stuff happening. So, it gets really laggy when you keep track of that, and it uses up a ton of fucking memory. Uses a ton of memory, so we're just waiting. I gotta wait for all these guys to spawn. Let's kill one. Okay. How did I get started? With game dev? I just started. I downloaded Unreal Engine. That was how I started. And it was that was about 2.5 years ago now. Okay, let's see how many we have now. Stop. Okay. Still only 779. Did we just not spawn very many this time? I think that might be it. I think that might be... Okay, stop, clear. Now let's run our trace here. Run our trace here and see what happens. I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit. Okay. So what are we looking at here? It's still running on the freaking game thread. Stop that. Stop that. I don't want that. I mean, I guess the game thread is... It does have idle time, so it doesn't matter at the moment. But, like... Stop. Stop that. I don't want that. Let me see here. Unreal Engine. Parallel 4 running on game thread. I don't want that. Multi-threading, parallel rendering, multi-threading logic that runs on all threads except game thread. That's what I want. Yeah. That is not blocking game thread, but is using all other logic threads like parallel 4. F runnable. Ugh, I don't want to make a whole ass F runnable. Parallel 4 with existing task context. I did see that one. Inside an async task. I mean, maybe it just automatically knows that there's enough fucking space in the game thread. I hope once my rendering thread speeds up when I'm, like, you know, not in editor, that it won't do that and, like, slow down the frame rate, you know? If your game thread is already busy, would it then use another thread? I assume it would. I don't know. Like, how does it know how much? Because, like, there's this little bit of frame sync time here. How does it know, like, how much time that is before it happens. You know, is it just basing it off of the previous frame? Is it just guessing? I don't know. It is using the other threads, which is nice. Let's see how many, like how many, the 1 in this frame, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 little bunches. So let's just do, what is like 6 times 4, like 24 milliseconds? Like what was the highest one of these? Like 4 milliseconds? Yeah, the highest one is the game thread. The highest one is the game thread. And so it is, overall, it is actually running faster. Overall. Not only is it split across threads now too, but it is running faster as well. So yeah, maybe I should use the parallel 4 for a lot of my, like this, like look at this fucking target processor. This one's bad. I mean, I guess it's only 14, it only looks bad in comparison. It's only 14 milliseconds, which isn't too bad. But also, I don't have as many entities too. Also. What programming language? C++. Yes, yes. This is Unreal Engine. What are you working on today? Hey, Hasty, welcome in. And welcome into you as well, Sovereign. I'm just looking at some performance benchmarks of the Velocity processor. When I was trying out the Parallel 4 in comparison to just the single background task and seeing what that performance was like. I'm noticing, though, that it's running on the game thread, and I don't want it to. I don't want it to. It is okay in this case, though, because we're still waiting on, like, the... I think the rendering thread, but... I'm actually not sure, because that's doing wait fors as well. What are you actually waiting for? Yeah, what are you waiting for here? Is it like this, like just render stuff? Are you just waiting for these little bits here? I guess so. I don't know. It's so hard to fucking tell when you have like 10 threads, you know? Then here's the, oh, I guess we get just GPU frames as well, which is kind of cool. Nanite. Doing nanite things. That's my biggest issue with Unreal Insights. It doesn't tell you why a thread is waiting. So I notice you can, let me try this then. So you can toggle on this channel here for task. You can't see it. It's behind my face. But it is called task. So I'm going to toggle that on real quick. Just get a few frames here. And then let's see. Oh boy, look at that fucking sync idle time. Oh, is it not doing it? I thought it would, was task not the right one? What am I thinking of? Frame file, blah, 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 mass. Render commands. No, I'm pretty sure it was task. Pretty sure it was task. I thought it would, What is all this? What is happening right now on these frames? Where are all my processors at? Did the game just stop? No, it didn't. Okay, I'm gonna let's get a new trace. Usually that task channel, it'll like draw little arrows to like the tasks and stuff. There we go. Something, it'll draw something like that. Well, it'll show you like where it came from. So like this target processor process entities came from something over here. I don't know. I guess it still doesn't do it on the wait fors or something. Oh, here we go. I don't, what is this? Oh, something in the move to processor is doing a game thread thing. But it shows you like task graph stuff. I don't know if it'll show you like the Frame sync. So this is all like the async task game. I think these are all like when I use an async task to call back to the game thread. I think that's what's happening here. So I have 1.3 milliseconds of that happening. Okay, I didn't know it always kicked it off to like the end of the frame. Oh, here's some more like other task graph stuff. Yeah. So this came from, yeah. So yeah, in a lot of these processors, I need to do like one little tiny thing on like the fucking game thread or something. Like what am I doing in the velocity processor that needs the game thread? Hello? Yeah, there's something in the game thread. It's doing something. Oh yeah, I do have just a game thread tick on the velocity processor. I forgot that. Oh, that's just to process the... oh, I bet... You know what I bet it is? You know what I bet it is? I bet it's the queue. I bet it's doing the queue. Because I add to this queue. And then I process some things on the next tick. Does AI help you find or learn something inside Unreal, or do you just Google it? Fucking neither, honestly, at this point. You kind of just have to read the source code when you're in as deep as I am. So there's not anything super duper helpful, but for the most part, I Google. There are some things I use AI for. Like for my collision system, I have like a bunch of math utility functions for doing like things like, you know, a box-to-box intersection, an oriented box intersection, a fucking box cylinder overlap. This is a DDA traversal algorithm. Like a lot of these things I just one shot with AI, and it's very good at doing these because it's a very general algorithm, right? That's known, and a lot of resources on it on the internet and stuff. But for all the like specific Unreal Engine things, it's not super great at, because it's just kind of guessing, right? But yeah, my tick now is quite different than it was. Of course, Slate is just, you know, taking up so much. Yeah, so it looks like it doesn't tell you what the wait fors are on, which is really annoying. Which is that's like, yeah, that's what I want to know. What am I waiting on? I don't know, like execute fucking like I assume it's got to do something with that. So we executed a task, and then it's just like one tiny fucking thing that you probably could have just done on the same thread anyway. I don't know. Hard to tell. Especially on the render thread. Like this stuff is so generic. You're just like, yeah, can you just give me what object is making you perform like shit, please? That would be nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so I do like the Parallel 4. It does seem like it's running better. I do have like less entities. I have like half entities. And what did I say it was? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. Roxy. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, so do I like the Parallel 4? Is kind of what I'm trying to decide here. 4 milliseconds. I know I said they were 6, so that's like 24 milliseconds. But I have like half the entities, right? And in the other one, when I just did it all in one shot, when I just did it all in one shot, if I can find it. Just give me an example. Velocity processor. 36 milliseconds? For almost twice as many. Let me rerun the world. Let's rerun the world and see if it gets any better. Put that back up there. Okay, stop. Drop. Settle down, open up shop. Okay, run it again. Rip Bro, what's up? Welcome in. How long did you spend developing this game? About 2.5 years. Seems like a lot of coding has been done. A lot of coding has been done, yes. That is true. And it's been a lot of learning, right? Like, I didn't know anything about game development before that. I didn't know anything about C++. I didn't know anything about Unreal Engine. Didn't know anything about procedural generation. So most of that is, like, I would say, like, the entire first year is just me learning how to do things wrong. That's the first year of this project. How many lines approximately? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea, dude. Is that something devs usually know about their code base? I've never thought about that. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty fucking big. Velocity processor, probably 300 lines. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Here's all my files. There it is. There's all the code. No screenshots. Okay, you can screenshot it. I'm just now getting a sense of scale here because I've never actually done this before. There's all my code. There it is. And Ryder is taking up 12 gigs of memory as well. Whatever fits into however many lines fits into 12 gigs of cached memory. Okay, start and stop. And no one's falling through the ground, which is just chef's kiss fucking great. I love that. Love that for me. Okay, we're still spawning. So I think I spawn like just one per frame, so it takes a while to spawn them all. This is the process of learning. Nice job, man. Thank you. I see you don't use AI to solve problem often. I mean, I just don't need it. You know, I don't need it all the time. Like I said, I did give you guys an example of like some of the mathier stuff. The more general the problem is, the better, the more useful AI is at solving it. But it turns out general problems aren't really... If you're solving general problems, you're probably not making something very interesting, I think, or very complex. Like, did you learn coding by yourself or took a course or something like that? Yeah, I'm entirely self-taught, so I've never really paid for programming knowledge, be it college or otherwise. I dropped out of college. I'm very proud of that, actually. Don't you use AI to know something you don't know? No. If I want to know something, I generally go to Google for that. I only use AI for the things I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know the geometry math behind an oriented box-to-box intersection. Like, I just don't need to know that, right? And me knowing that is like a huge overhead. So I use AI for the things I don't want to know, actually. If you're talking about prompting, I do have Copilot installed, so we get autocompletes. That's very helpful. Uh-oh, we got a bogey. Hang on. He's fallen. Oh, he's been falling for a while. Yep. He's been falling for a while. We do have 1,000 entities though, so out of 1,000, only one seems to be falling through the ground. And I know that there are some sections in the world where they can slip through cracks and stuff. So you see docs or something like that. Yeah, docs are like forum posts and stuff. Yeah, that would be how to learn. Okay, yeah, so we have about 1,000 entities. So let's let me get back up to the, oh boy, yeah, let me get back up to base here. Okay, get rid of this. We don't want that anymore. I just wanted to see how many we had, but let's go back. We'll play. And oh, I took a snapshot instead of a trace. We're gonna trace. Just let that run for some frames. You doing all with C++ or use blueprints for some things? I use blueprints for some things, yeah. Mostly CPP though. Mostly C. Just a lot of the stuff I do, it needs to be very performant. And also I'm a software engineer for 10 plus years now. So it's just easier. It tends to be easier for me to do things in C++. I also find it to be easier to organize and stuff as well. Yeah, we're fucking, let me run I'll run a stat unit after this to confirm, but I think we're like game frame bound now because of this parallel 4. Other graph tasks. Coming from one of these yeah, what is it, the queue? I didn't know queuing started a graph. Let me look at, that's the only thing I could think of. Let me look at the underlying implementation of a TQ. Where's the in-queue function? In-queue. Are we doing any threading things here? Platform atomics, interlocked exchange pointer. It's not shipping or it's testing. Okay, so ignore that. What is this? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay, I can't even read this now. Interlocked exchanged pointer. I know, so this might be hopping threads or something. It's kind of fucking hard to tell. Kind of fucking hard to tell. Memory barrier. Yeah, when you start to get camel case, snake cased code in Unreal Engine, you're in the depths. You're in the depths. Profiling is so fun. Yeah, you get to see how all your shits is not gonna work. You thought you were done. You thought you were done. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Like, and 2.4 milliseconds is not trivial on the game thread, right? That's. Let me comment this out. Yeah, let's just comment this out and we'll see if it still happens. Gotta get to work. Good luck on the project. Looks fantastic. Thank you. Good luck at work. I hope you have a good day. And thank you for the kind words. But yeah, I'm gonna just tally up these parallel 4s. So we got like 5 milliseconds. So we got 5, 6, 7. We got like 10 now. 10, 15, 20. 24, what's another 3, 27, like we're up to 30 now, 30 milliseconds total. Yeah, I mean, so I think because the first one I did was for like, I think 1,700 entities. So I think doing it all in one shot is slower overall. But like it finishes sooner. It takes more CPU time, more time on the CPU, but it finishes faster because it's more parallelized. Which would make sense, right? Wait, where did all my entities go? Okay, they're just not spawned over there. Okay, sure. I'm Game Dev, welcome in. Is your game gonna be multiplayer? I hope so. I hope so. We'll see. I'm kind of trying to get all the foundational systems in place to try and like figure out how I do a very iterative approach to development, so I know I'm not going to get it all in one shot, so I just kind of work on everything a little bit at a time and then figure out. I'm kind of figuring out how it all fits together now, And so once I figure out how all these kind of base systems fit together, I'm probably going to do a multiplayer pass and see how easy that is. See how that goes. Very interested in graphics part of computer science, the roots of it even deeper than what technical artists do. What would be the career for that and study area? Just graphics programming. Yeah. Just type that into Google. Type in graphics programming. Did you go to some kind of academy, or you learn coding by a book? Neither. I learned coding by doing. I learned by doing and Googling. Okay, so I got rid of what I thought would be the issue for that little game thread callback task thing. So I'm just gonna let that run a couple frames, all we need really. Probably too many frames actually. Just give me one of these guys here. Okay, so we still have all these like. Okay, that is the move to processor. And that I know does a lot, so. Yeah, it's still, what is happening in the velocity processor that needs to call back to the game thread? Interesting. So it was not that. Oh, let me do a. Well, I'm not. Oh, this is something. Should I be doing this line trace on the background thread? Oh, it's probably the debug. Well, no, I'm not debug drawing anything. Never mind. I'm not debug drawing anything. Oh, in line trace single, I'm only doing the terrain trace. That's fine. Line trace. I do have an async task in here. Missing chunk, which I don't think I'm doing. I can't comprehend what you're doing right now. I can't either. Send help. Async task. Again, I'm not drawing debug, so that shouldn't happen. DDH reversal. I don't think I'm doing anything in there either. No. Okay. Where's this little game? Where's this little game thread callback coming from? Get point along direction. Oh, it's the vlogs. It's the vlogs. Yeah. Okay. So in a shipping build, this wouldn't happen. Yeah, it's all the vlogs. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Wait a second. The vlogger wasn't running though. Which means that shouldn't get hit, right? It is getting hit. What? It's not enabled. What? Stop that. It's not on. It's not even open. Oh, I thought that flag would work. What else can I use to block that, though? If it's like running, you know, or if it's like. I guess maybe let me look at what the underlying thing does here. Can I see? Can you show me what this expands to, please? Ah, there it is. That's what I want. That is precisely what I want. See, just look at the source code. Your answer's right there. You don't need AI. So if we're not recording, yeah, we're just gonna slap that on each of them. We should do that up front, actually. Yes, yes, okay. Yes, yes. You don't even need proper documentation. You just need source code. which is terrible. Don't actually do that. Do I use this one anywhere? What is this for? No, I don't. It's in a header file, so we'll have to rebuild. We will have to rebuild. Yeah, it's fun running a shipping build and seeing performance go through the roof, then run into issues you don't have in the editor. Yeah, and then you have to like, turns out you did a bunch of like logs at the end of if statements or something that you need to get rid of because they just don't compile now because it stripped those out of the out of the build or something. Yeah, so you have to like fix it first before you can even do a shipping build. Yeah, I have experienced that. Let's see. Is it good? Is it good practice large if nesting? No, probably not. Where is bro? Bro is here. No more fear. Bro is here. Bro is getting a drink and peeing. Yeah, generally less nesting is preferable, which is why I like to do things like that, where you guard, you do an early return, so you don't have to put the rest of this in yet another if statement, right? Oh gee, we have so much shit open here. I think I can close these. We're gonna keep that one. Let's close these boys, yeah. Okay. Oh, we are so fucking back. We are so back. Okay. Just chilling on the side of a mountain. Yeah, we'll have to wait for all of them to spawn. You are one of the few game dev streamers. Well, there's a lot on Twitch. There are many on Twitch, which I'm over there as well. But yeah, I imagine, you know, finding live on YouTube is not the greatest experience, and I hope to change that. I hope to change that with my 20% time. But it's kind of hard, dude. Learning the fucking YouTube backends and shit, it's kind of a fucking mess, I'll be honest. Why are you so fidgety? Honestly, that's what you think about any like new framework or anything you try to learn. It's like, dude, this is a fucking mess. It sucks. I hate it. Why didn't they just do it this way? Anytime you learn something new, that's like the first reaction to it. This was the game you're making in your last stream. Are you done already? That's a good fucking meme. That's a good fucking meme. Nice one. Ask me again in 5 years. Okay, are we done spawning all these guys yet? Okay, we are. We have 1,000 of these guys. Give me the task. Give me the task. Yeah. Okay, just give me a couple frames. It does seem to be running a lot smoother, so I think it did get gone. Did you get the automated tests done yet? Yeah, I automated the whole game already, so it's not even a game anymore. Dude, look at that game thread idle time. What the fuck? Okay, so now it's like not... The parallel 4 is not... Wait, where is it? What? This didn't capture any of it. There it is. I don't know, what was happening there? The game just like straight up wasn't running. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Yeah, I don't see nearly as... Yeah, I don't see any of it anymore. So yeah, it's running a lot better now. Okay. I thought that guard was preventing the visual logger. But yeah, there's no more of those game thread callbacksies. So yeah, in Plane Editor, I was losing like 2 to 4 milliseconds per frame on vlogging things that didn't actually ever get vlogged. I was just starting a game thread and doing nothing on it. There's our parallel 4s. So I think maybe the parallel 4, it is nicer. Now, I guess the, do you have a personal deadline for this? No. Hopefully never. I would like to work on this forever. IGS Ghost, welcome in. Your Twitch ID? It should be in the profile. Links to both of them are in my profile. I managed to get my game thread running so smooth. One solid line now. One solid line? Is that smooth? I mean, it's great that it's running smooth, but I don't know if... Is one solid line what you should be going for? Mine is not. Mine is not one solid line. It is smoother, yeah. So I probably need to think about my approach for all of my processors. I guess I would like to know when this is done. Is there a way for me to know when all of these are done? Yeah, I guess I'm running it every frame. But for my other ones, like specifically like the movement processor is a big one. And I guess the target processor. Target processor, let's look at that one real quick. This is one that could probably benefit from a parallel 4 quite nicely as well. Maniator Man, hello. Welcome in. Welcome. I do need to know like when it starts and finishes though, because I don't want to like double up if it's not done yet, you know? Let me do a quick Google search. Unreal Engine Parallel 4 when is done. I don't know, how would you search for that? Uses F event to tell the game thread that the individual tasks that are created have finished. Let me look at that. F event. Couldn't stop myself from reading engine source code. Oh, I know. It's so hard to stop yourself from doing that. The answer is actually pretty easy to find if one knows where to look. Use F event to tell the game thread that the individual tasks are created and finished. Place. Yeah, I just want to know when though. I mean, I guess I'll look at the underlying code just like he fucking did. It's better than spikes. They cause lag. I am shooting for all my lines to not be jumping. Oh, you mean like these? You mean these ones up here? Okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about these bars. That makes more sense now. That makes more sense. Make delegates. That feels heavy-handed. Like, that feels heavy-handed. I think calling back for every single one of those would be really weird. Oh boy. Okay. Is this your first game? Yes. Isn't Parallel 4 done when the scope is done? I thought it was blocking. I don't think... I feel like no. I feel like no. I mean, how... Is that why? Hang on. Let's test the theory. Maybe that's why it's doing the game thread. Dream game? Hell yeah. Why agentic AI can't make it up in game? I have no idea what you're saying. I have no idea what that means. Okay. Trace. Maybe it is blocking. Sovereign, you son of a bitch. Maybe it is scope blocking. What are these? Where are these guys? Where are you coming from? ISM press. I guess it is. Is that, does it do that? Let me look at the, there has to be like a weight or something down here then, right? Dude, it puts a whole ass class inside a function. It's a struct. Oh my god, my coworkers would roast me in a CL review if I tried to submit something like that. Strong case, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. They put a whole fucking struct inside of a function. Look how big this struct is. It's fucking huge in this class. Oh, there's a struct and a class. That's fucking ridiculous. Check slow. That's just an assertion. Finish signal waits here if some other thread finishes the last item. Then it must live on until all the tasks are cleared, which might be long after this function exits. But we do have a wait here. Okay, let's put like a log or something. I don't know, how would I test this? I could put like a little trace CPU scope at the end. It's logging time. I could log every entity process. I mean, I don't know. Logging, I feel like that'd be hard to tell. I wonder if I did something like this. You know, just throw some like throwaway thing in here. Just do some fucking work. And then try to find where this like finished. See where that like shows up. That's not the right one. Go home. Because I specifically, it's happening like every frame, so I need to like see it in relation to other things. Did that actually do it? Okay. Got you tabbed up. Time for me to get started on my project. Hell yeah. Lurk away, my dude. Lurk away. Okay, I guess it's probably tiny, so I gotta like find it here. Contains velocity. Finished. It exists. Okay, so it happens. It happens at the end of. I can at least confirm that it happens at the end of a batch of these. Wow, this one took 13 milliseconds. That's a lot. I don't know how to tell for sure. Okay, what's a test I could do for this? Why don't I just do some like trivial work or something? I don't know. Is that a good test? Process entity. I mean, I could put a log at the end of every one of these. Okay, let's do this, I guess. We'll try this. Wait, scope finished. And then at the end of process entity, which is kind of a big function. Log, process entity, just do that. And then if I don't see, I guess if I don't see any of those immediately after, then it's kind of confirmed. I think I'm just worried. I'm worried about those. Like this happens every frame, so it's gonna be like kind of hard to tell. But there's other logs happening, so hopefully that means if I just don't see anything after this one, immediately after this one, it's fine? Question mark. God, there's so much happening. Okay. That looks okay. And it starts over at 0. That is what I would expect it to look like if it does scope. Lock the scope. Okay, let's roll with that, I guess. We'll roll with that. We'll just make that assumption until it doesn't work. We will make that. Come on, give me the. There we go. Let's do the give velocity processor, or not velocity processor. Let's do. You can go away now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Adrian Live, hello. Target processor. I want to give you the same treatment. So I guess the key to not having it run on the game thread also is to launch it from a background thread as well. I can't spell parallel, can I? Parallel 4. There we go. Entities.num. I need to change this. Ryder, chill. You are freaking out. It's okay. It's okay. Oh my, right, dude. Holy shit. What is my system doing right now? Okay, we're gonna stop Unreal Engine because I think that's just like taking up so much shit right now. Oh my god, can I write code? Is that okay with you? Okay, parallel 4, put this in here now, in there, yes. Okay, this needs to be, or can be rather, const, sure, why not? Processing false. Okay, so that matters. So let's test that out. Probably more processors I can do that for, but I think these are like the two that matter quite a bit. Let me check out chunk processor, and then like move to processor might be another one. We're doing 12,000, are we? Is that what I've set that to? No, I've set it to 3,000. Move to processor. Yeah, I mean, move to processor does a lot on the game thread as well. And it has a tick function, so that's like where most of the performance goes for the. Oh, did I put a log on that? Wait, what? Or were those old ones? Those are probably old ones. Clear it. Okay, let's run it. Ah, the Asgard. Loki Asgard, welcome back. Your asses are now under Loki's protection. You may unclench. Okay, we're just gonna wait a little bit. Just gonna wait a little bit because we got to spawn all the entities. Welcome in, everyone. I am working on a video game. This is Unreal Engine 5 that we're in. My video game is I'm trying to make it into an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo. You know, just all placeholder assets for now. Name of the game, my project. So it doesn't have a name. Still super early in the process. But it's gonna have procedural destructible terrain. So this is like a procedurally generated world. Kind of like Minecraft, you know, where like every world you create is going to be different. It's going to have a different seed, but it will be unlike Minecraft in many ways. One of those is that there's actually going to be like distinct zones, and like each one of these different colors right now represents a different biome and a different zone. So like this is called like the Ageless Woods. This is, let me find another one. The Echoing Chamber, the Howling Fjord, Frostvale Abyss, Yonder Hills, Soulscream Valley, you know, Desolation Wilds, and hopefully that these names will start to play into like what's generated there. And there's going to be different ass world. Yes, thank you Loki Asgard, thank you. Emberglow Thicket. And so each of these zones has like a defined border and mountains around them, right? It's not like Minecraft where just one biome goes to another. There's actual like natural barriers to getting into each one. And right now it's all just mountains, but it will be like rivers and stuff like that, you know. Maybe there's going to be a few that kind of blend from one to another, but there's like these little entrances, right? Like that's an entrance. These white dots are entrances. Is it going to be multiplayer? I hope so. Yeah, I hope I can get that working. So like here's an entrance right here. And yes, I need to blend the textures. They are unblended. The noise is blended. So the terrain matches up, but the textures don't. Why it looks like WoW a lot. You know, a lot of people say that, and like the only thing that makes it look like WoW specifically are like some of the icons I've stolen and then the nameplate. And so why does everything else in the, like, I wonder if people are saying that just because of the UI, which is the only thing I've like taken directly from WoW. The assets are borrowed, or the icons down here are borrowed, but you probably can't even see those very well on YouTube Shorts. Nor can you probably see this. So, like, these are all just like placeholder assets. They're all just like base stylized, you know, vibe assets. So, you know, it's why do those look like WoW? Because WoW looks like a generic stylized game. It's the is it the UI? Okay. Yeah, I really just did the nameplate like UI, so that's probably the big reason. It's probably the big reason. You can change your project name and the project settings, so it's not the end of the world if you start with a placeholder ass name. Right. Or I could just come up with a name that has the same like MY like acronym for it, so that I don't have to change any of my file names, because I call a lot of my files like my entity subsystem, you know. Can the entrance be a hole and you jump in for dungeon runs? I hope things like that can happen. I hope things like that happen. What I can show you is that, like, you know, these are the entrances that you can just walk through, but then there are other kind of like randomly generated ones. Like, here's the mountain. This is the border mountain here from one zone to the other. And so you can find little caves that go through. And so you can get through that way. And I do intend for there to be dungeons underground that you can explore and stuff. So yeah, that's very much in the cards. What are the gameplay elements you want to add? Is it survival? I want more so RPG, less so survival, but it's definitely going to have some survival light elements. Like I have dynamic tree chopping right now as well. So wherever your axe connects with the tree is where you chop it. If I actually get... There we go. So we chopped it up there. It's not like fully working, but there is like resource gathering. You know, you can chop it multiple times. And then there is I do have a building system in the game, so there are going to be some survival-y elements. But I hope for that to be like survival-like, because I don't want it to just be another survival game. So it's going to be like, you know, imagine if you had a WoW class in a survival game that is a colony sim, you know. So you actually are running a colony of NPCs, right? And you're giving them jobs, you're building their skills. You know, like the construction is going to be one skill, and so they'll have to bring all the, like, I put wood in here, right? Like I have wood in my inventory, and so I can put wood in here and then I build it. Right now I just have a super short time just for testing, but like eventually that'll take longer, and then it'll go faster the more skill your colonists have in construction. So, and you might have one guy that's like really good at construction, and he does all your constructing, right? And then you might have another guy who's really good at planting and stuff. Tree falling didn't crush the other dude. Immersion broken. Cog, what are you doing over there? You're not supposed to be over there. Get back over to Twitch. Yeah, I hope for there to be tree dominoes too. That's something I want to add for sure. And then it's going to be a roguelite as well. So when you die, start over at level 1. And when you level up, you'll get new abilities. And I think I have a crash here. Wonderful. Why is settings null here? Why would that be null? What chunk is this happening on? The execution source is null. So put that above. Okay, thank you for that crash. Very nice of you. But yeah, so when you level up, like imagine playing WoW, but instead of going to your class trainer for skills, for abilities, like every so often you get to pick from like a random set of abilities. And like, you know, you may get to higher level, and like the higher level you get, like the more abilities unlocked for you to pick from. And so each run you'll have like a different build, and you'll try to you'll try to like pick your talents around what abilities you're getting. He's a chat hopper. He is. He's kind of a little slut, I'll be honest with you. Little chat slut. I was supposed to be testing things and I didn't there, so we're gonna have to run that again and wait for a fucking minute. I'm just using the same seed right now. And I picked this one because it's got really steep mountains and hills. And I was testing the velocity processor that I have to make sure the entities don't like fall through and stuff. Okay, can we spawn some things now, please? He's not wrong. you know what you are. Yeah, hopefully after this, after we get this ironed out, which should be here in a sec. Why are you so... Oh, I hate that. Why are you so jittery? You look fine there. Was it just... Is it walking up hills? Uh-oh. Yeah, it might be walking... It might be walking up hills that he's super jittery. Hello? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Ah, fuck. I hate that. Okay. Add it to do. Add it to do. Gotta get that ironed out. That looks horrible. That's probably this. I'm gonna guess that's this. Let's just like add it here. To do entity movement is super jittery when walking up slopes. Okay, have we spawned everything yet? $600. No, I don't think so. We're still spawning. Okay. Word. What do you do? Full time, like job or freelance? I have a job. I'm a software engineer, full time. Not gonna lie, you got good energy and in a pretty good niche with how gaming dev is growing. More hot as a topic. Thank you. I don't always have good energy. I just woke up on the right side of the bed this morning. I definitely have some streams where I'm not so energetic, and the YouTube Shorts viewership 100% reflects that. YouTube Shorts loves energy. Looks like IK issues rather than velocity. Oh, honey. My sweet summer child. We don't do that. We don't do that here. I do everything my own way in my own systems. I wrote my own gravity, my own velocity processor, my own nav walking, my own nav movement as a part of the ECS system. Because like I want the whole world to be running at all times, so I had to write my own ECS system to, like, all of the velocity and stuff is on the background thread. So it's all like custom stuff. I don't blame you for thinking that though. And it's just the speed being passed to the animation probably is what is wrong there. But it definitely has to do with where I'm settling them for velocity processing. Do you have anyone else helping? Nope, just me. Okay, are we done spawning things? We have 1,000. Okay, we are done spawning. We are done spawning. Okay. Okay. We're rocking 70 FPS right now. 70, almost 80, 90. I saw a 90 there. 85. We're settling at 85, 90. So that's pretty fucking good for in editor, right? Now I'm looking for the target processor, and we're like GPU bound, which I'm like 100% sure is because of like really shitty optimized assets. Anyways, velocity processor. Velocity processor. No, not velocity processor. Although that is taking, it seems like it's taking long. Wait. Why are there two parallel 4s? Did I fuck something up here? Why is it like a double parallel 4 right there? That might just be the first one, which is kind of weird. Here is the, yeah. Here is the target processor. Yes. Yes. God, my task graph, oh God, it's just like so full now. Which I suppose is kind of good, right? You want that to be fully saturated, right? Because then you're not wasting cycles. Rather than just doing one bar here or there, I suppose that's a little more efficient overall. Move to processor 15 milliseconds. That's not super huge. 20 milliseconds. Yeah, we just got shit all over the place now. I guess it's kind of hard to tell now though. Like, I never get you in my shorts. Hey, Steve, if you want me in your shorts, you just gotta take me out to dinner first, and then I'm there. You walked right into that one, my dude. That was too easy. The thing is, like, it's kind of hard to tell now what the full, not those shorts. Oh, don't lie. Don't be coy. It's kind of hard to tell the full picture. Of how long this takes, because like what I liked about having the single bar is that when I made a change, I could tell what impact it had for all of the entities. That was easy, but now it's going to be kind of hard to see that. I wonder if I should just like keep track of the time manually. Wait, I'm not even setting B is... Oh, it's always false. Duh. Okay. Duh. I spawned here once again, randomly scrolling YouTube Shorts. Small world. Yeah, it is weird. The YouTube Shorts algorithm works in mysterious ways. I was actually, the only reason I'm streaming on YouTube Shorts, I never would have thought to do it. I never would have thought that that would actually get that people would actually be interested or anything. And then I had to do a whole bunch of fucking setup for like the stream to like make it look good on vertical formats. I was like, dude, no one wants to watch me write code in a vertical format. But no, my coworker at YouTube was like, yeah, you should try it. Like apparently the YouTube Shorts algorithm, like they try to prevent the empty room by like, they like push small streams. And so like the chart for YouTube Shorts is kind of, is crazy, right? Like look, like 4,000 fucking people, almost 5,000 people have fucking seen this. And like, look at this, like 143 peak. I mean, it's kind of, it always tapers off. Like by the end of the stream, there's very little people here. So it's just good for getting some subs in here though, spreading the good word. And then like, you know, the fucking horizontal stream, which has like fucking 0 visibility, you know, not as good, not as good. So yeah, kind of crazy how it fucking works. The algo is strong. The algo is strong with this one. Sorry for the question. You don't have to apologize for asking a question, my dude. You're free to ask whatever questions. Welcome in though, Darth Maul. What programming language are you using for work? I use mostly Angular, Dart, and Java. And then I do a good amount of SQL. And I'm trying to learn the YouTube backend, which is a C++ box scaffolding server. So that's primarily the stack at work. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should manually track the time here just for my own purposes. My own purpose. I'm not doing any work on it now, so it's just like maybe next time when I do work on it, like maybe I can just start a timer here, end the timer, you know, here. And then I can just do the diff, right? Do the diff. Probably just more people scrolling on shorts. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that live stuff popped up in shorts. And did you guys know there's actually like a feed for just live? Like, I never knew that. Like, if you pause any YouTube short, there's like a live chip at the top that you can click on. And then it'll put you in a live only shorts feed. Which I'm like, no one fucking knows about that. And this coworker, because I was talking to him because I want to work on YouTube Live and make it better. And so we were trying to come up with what I can do for that. And he was just telling me about the ecosystem of YouTube Shorts and stuff, and like why YouTube just cares way more about vertical live than horizontal live. So yeah, he was telling me about that. I was like, dude, I had no fucking idea. No idea. I had no idea. Like, I've never gotten a live stream in just my regular YouTube Shorts feed either. So apparently it happens. But yeah, the algorithm is very good for discoverability. And even though, like, sometimes the horizontal stream, like, I do get impressions on that stream in like searches, but it's like so little. It's so like few and far between that it's just like, and people don't go to YouTube. I mean, the big problem is people don't go to YouTube to watch live content. Like, they go to fucking Twitch, right? Or if you're in a different country, you know, some other platform. So for just live, I had no idea. I know, right? Like, it's not well known. So yeah, just like if you pause, I'm sure if you pause my stream, like up at the top, there's like a live chip you can click on, and it'll kick you over there. And then I don't know, the live content in that feed is like very interesting. I'll say the quality varies greatly. Yeah, but I hope to solve some of the problems where for people not going to YouTube for live, because like look at the live page for YouTube. I bet y'all didn't even know youtube.com/live even existed. So this is the live page. So it's down here. And like this isn't even live content. Like, what is this? It's just all news and sports up here for what is actually live, so nothing I'm really interested in. Upcoming live streams. Like, how am I supposed to find something I'm actually interested in? Like, the only actual good thing to go to, like, look at this. There's no categories or anything here. Like, it's all thumbnails. You can't actually see what's happening on the stream because it's all thumbnails, which I think is actually kind of bad. Like, when you go to Twitch, it's all, they pick a frame from the stream so you can actually see what's happening there. But if you go to gaming, like, this is what it should be. If you go to the gaming tab, top live games. So this actually has like viewers and stuff. So if you click view all on there, now we finally get to a page that is actually kind of useful for finding live content. You know, similar to Twitch's browse page, because this is how I feel like this is how most people get to content that they want to watch, right? They come here, they find a section that they're interested in, you know, give me fucking Minecraft, you know, Give me high to low, you know? And then they look through this, and then we have tags here, you know, like it's all these, I can see what's happening on stream, you know? So it's just so much better than this. And then let's look at the Minecraft section here. Like it's all thumbnails. This looks like garbage, you know? And then the sorts, like there's no sorting and filtering on here either. And again, this is just for gaming too. It's not like the sections themselves are actually, I found out, ML generated. Like they actually use their ML. They come up with like you don't put in that I'm playing Minecraft, but you will show up in the Minecraft section because of all the machine learning. Like I was reading about what happens when you like upload a fucking video. It is fucking insane that YouTube is actually profitable. Like the amount of shit that fucking runs on a video upload is nuts. And it's even more insane for a live stream because they do it constantly on a live stream. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. But they have all this ML generated like tags basically on here, and they can figure out like what you're streaming rather than you specifying the category. So there's a little history background lesson on YouTube. I've come across some live streams and shorts before, but kind of only just realized it was an actual thing you had to set up. Yeah. It's a pain in the ass actually. The vertical setup is a lot harder. Like the mouse tracking, I found a script for that, but it worked terribly for my purposes actually. But so I had to go in like edit it for game dev. For Pineapples, hello, welcome in. Good night, man. Nice lurking around today. Hell yeah. Thanks for stopping by. That's a nice way to put it. There's some odd live streams I'm seeing. Yeah. Yeah, the quality is like, and they'll have like 30 viewers, you know? And I'm like, dude, what are these people? What are you, you're just watching the clown show? Like, what's happening here? I think if you want live content, you go to platforms like Twitch. Yeah, 100%. I also think many of us watch content without much intent. Yeah, if you're on an algorithm, like a feed, yeah, you're not watching content with intent. For sure. Pirate software hate content. Yeah. Were you looking at my homepage or whatever? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's all the rage now. Did he have a debate with Destiny?
If the company's not around, what are you saying that like?
Oh god, that's a whole barrel of toxicity. I don't want to. But yeah, what like, and I think one of the big reasons is this live page sucks. Like none of this is good content, right? Like none of this is good. And what happens if I click show more here? It's just like more, again, more thumbnails. Like the thumbnails are actually detrimental in this regard, I think. They're actually detrimental in this regard. And then these are just like kind of randomly come up with, you know, not randomly, like ML generated come up with. Look at this fucking video here. Live me welcome, high channel, P high channel, P high channel, P high channel, P high channel. Why? Like what is, like none of these people are in my language. Why are they showing up for me? You know? I can tell these are like Indian related streams. I am not Indian. Why are those showing up for me? You know? I actually found you from my recommendations 5 minutes ago, but yeah, mostly YouTube Live is pretty bad. Yeah, what I'm talking about is that I'm hoping to change that. We'll see though. There's a lot of red tape I got to go through. It only took me 3 months to even find the right person to talk to. So the blistering pace of corporate progress is unfolding before me. Stop Killing Games is hot at the moment in my feed. Yeah, it came back around, right? Because it was like almost a year ago that shit happened. Yeah, very, very hot to hate on Pirate Software now. Very hot to hate on him. I used to watch him back when he had like 200 viewers. When he was a 200 viewer Andy, I used to watch him. And now he's got like 12K or some shit. I don't know. YouTube is trying to make shorts a thing to compete with TikTok. Yeah, they care about it a lot. Instagram and all the others, they're funneling people to shorts. I have hidden shorts so many times and they were making it harder and harder to not get them promoting shorts. Like, yeah, if you like search for something, like Shorts, you know, they have these shorts shelves. They call these shelves here. Shorts again. Yeah, they're pushing it hard. And that's why they're not doing anything with horizontal live, is because they think the vertical live, there's more there. And I don't blame them. I think it is good. I think you should do that as well. I think live stream is only going to get more popular too with like the rise of AI. People are only going to search for like more and more authentic interaction, right? Like less. I think people want more and more, less and less scripted, you know, overproduced content. They just want something real and raw to kind of engage with. And I raw dog it all the time, so this is where it's at. So I definitely think that like we should, like YouTube, we should be working on vertical live YouTube shorts. I think it's a good move, but I don't think that means we should abandon horizontal live. Like I think there's always going to be a place for that. It's just like most of the time the vertical live feeds are like someone just set up their phone and started filming, right? Like that's not a high quality stream. Like I had to do setup on my fucking stream, you know, because I'm streaming at a computer. I'm not just like, a lot of them were just like like people would just cook and like they would just go live. And I'm like, that's so weird to me. Like, why do people do that? But I think it's connection. People want human to human connection in today's day and age is how I've wrapped my head around it. It's getting harder and harder to find what you're actually looking for. There are also, because they push popular videos over things that match the search. Yeah, I did do a lot of reading about the algorithm on the internal docs, and let's just say it's a complicated fucking issue. It's not like, they're not doing that on purpose, right? Like they have so many, like when you click enter on a search, you have no idea, like the fucking, like the web and the multitudes of things that coalesce and come together into your fucking funny cat videos search response. You know what I mean? Like it's actually fucking insane. It's a tech, and like I kind of came to the conclusion that like I don't think there's ever going to be a company that replaces YouTube. Like it's kind of fucking insane what I was reading. I can't go into too much detail because it's like, you know, that's the secret sauce, you know. So, but it's nuts. Just trust me that it's fucking nuts. And that it like, and a lot of people are saying that like Google search is getting worse too, and like, they're just prioritizing ads. Like, no, it's not intentional, right? It's not intentional. Like, there's so many machine learning models that are waiting and doing all this shit in the background. Sounds like hell to manage. It does, dude. I was overwhelmed just trying to read a fucking doc on it, right? On the big picture, right? And it's like every single bit of this giant web that comes together, there's a whole team. There's a whole team that manages that and works on that. It's insane. Like, and like you think like, oh, like, okay, yeah, there's a team for YouTube Live. No, there's like a dozen teams for YouTube Live, actually. Like YouTube Live chat, that's one team. That's one fucking team. You know, live interactivity is what they call it. That's one fucking team. What do you think of Unreal Engine 5 performance? I think it's pretty good for what it gives you, actually. And as long as you're not shoehorning in features, and you're not your deadline isn't getting you know, shoved up your ass by your product managers, I think you can do a pretty good job making it performant. And I know that's kind of the hot topic now, is Unreal Engine 5 sucks at performance, but it's really on either devs not knowing the technology, not knowing how to use it, and being lazy, or it's on the product managers, the business side of things, not allowing developers to spend the time optimizing. Or it's I blame Epic a little bit, because they do market the shit out of like Lumen and Nanite as kind of like a slap this baby on here and you're good to go, and it's not. There's a lot to it you have to understand before it can be used properly. Scale of YouTube is immense. Yeah, it's nasty. Sips coffee. Yep, it's all so much bigger than people realize. Yeah, it is though. It is. YouTube just the most official video media platform. Yeah, I mean, it was like they had been working on it the longest, but just the technological marvel, like it is going to take so much for another company to replicate that I mean, like this is like a decade of technological progress and innovation, and these machine learning models and these algorithms. Like, it's nuts. That is going to be so hard to build up. And guess what? You need a lot of traffic to make it profitable. Like, YouTube only just recently became profitable in the past, what was it, like 5 years or something? So, like, having something take over YouTube it's a monumental feat. If that, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, if ever. The data scraping they get from it is an entire department too. Yeah, I mean, well, we just have like, yeah, the data science side of it is like each model has its own like team. Each one of these like recommendations weighting models is probably its own team from what I was reading. Just got in here. What's the stream? Are you making a game live on stream with Unreal 5? Yeah, well, I'm just doing a lot of yapping about how impressive YouTube is right now, but the goal is to make a game. Yeah. We were just talking about like the YouTube Shorts algorithm and like how it works, and like I just kind of like rambled, and because I'm a dev at Google. I work in Google Ads, and it's weird, but Google Ads is actually under YouTube Ads. That doesn't make any sense. But there was a reorg, and so now I have access to YouTube things, and I'm trying to get into that side of it. So I was just talking about that a little bit. Imagine if eBum's World did the thing, or like what was the other one? Like Break, was it Break.tv or Break.com or something like that? That was another one. So are Nanite and Lumen the main reasons why performance is worse now? I think they're the big ones. Yeah, those are the big ones. There's a lot of things that go into performance though. It's like there's a lot of different checkboxes in Unreal Engine that you need to know about. Like the anti-aliasing solutions are you know, everything is leaves something to be desired. So there's trade-offs with every like anti-aliasing solution, you know. And I know a lot of people complain about like AI generated frame rate and stuff too. Any advice for Dark Souls? You seem like a Dark Souls fan. I'm not actually. I do not like Dark Souls gameplay. I do not actually. I don't like poke dodge poke combat. Lazy devs shoving expensive systems into a small box, and management not putting enough time to optimize because time is money. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying as well. And Adder would probably know that more than most here. He's experienced that firsthand. Nanite, when used correctly, will usually save you performance. Most people check the box and move on, though. Yes, I am one of those people for now, but I do understand that a lot of my GPU performance is probably it's actually running pretty well right now, but it's probably just from overdraw, right? Okay, close your. I'm about to flashbang you guys, so just settle in. Where is Nanite overdraw? Like this is the bad, right? Look. If I'm not mistaken, the overdraw is what you want to minimize for nanite performance, and it comes from translucent materials rather than modeling the whole thing, if I'm not mistaken. And so I think that the trees and the foliage that I use has a lot of translucent materials. That's my current understanding. It is cool that the terrain actually calls it, which is nice. Thermal imaging, yeah, thermal fucking flashbang. But yeah, that's the nanite stuff. Like here's all the nanite information you can get. Oh, I guess the triangles one is pretty cool to look at too. Look at my triangles. Look. They're my triangles. Am I doing it with raw code or blueprint? Mostly code, but I do use blueprints for some things. Yeah, so I'm working on a video game in Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be a RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain. So kind of like Minecraft, every time you play, you can create a world. Every world's going to be different. You can do a seed, and it creates a map that looks like this. And each one of these on here, each one of these colors is like a different zone with a different name. Beacon Hills, fucking Ebonwood Forest, Xanthic Dunes, Frostwatch Tundra, Emberstone Wastes, Ironwood Heights, the Vale of Shadows. The fifth Circle of Hell is also making an appearance in the map. But each one of these zones will have like a different biome and a different like terrain noise to it. And you can go from like zone to zone and explore. then there's mountains around each zone, and these little white boxes are like entrances to each zone, so that's kind of how you can navigate around the world. And you can also like destroy the terrain. So here's one such border mountain here. So you could just like dig your way through the terrain to get to the other side if you wanted to, or you could build up and over. There's a building system in the game, or you can find a cave like this one, and you can come out the other side. And that's the beauty of RNG. RNGesus. You mentioned destruction and such, going as deep as Red Faction. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what Red Faction is. It's not for everyone, but damn, it's good. I assume you're talking about Dark Souls. Yeah, I can appreciate that something like Elden Ring is a good game, but the combat, I think the difficulty, a lot of the difficulty in Elden Ring comes from a really bad place. A lot of it comes from controls. The fucking input queuing is insane to me, why they would do that. But the controls, the camera, and then just like the unresponsiveness of the combat, I think is where like most of the difficulty comes from, right? And like the bosses are like 20 times your fucking size. So you literally cannot see them. Like if you're trying to hit them with a melee weapon, you cannot see the fucking boss. Like that's a design issue in my eyes, right? Same with some of the dungeons. Like they put some of the dungeons in like a, they put you in like a really tight corridor. And what you're supposed to do is account for where the camera is in relation to the player. Like you need to factor that in when you're building environments, when you're building dungeons and stuff like that. You need to make room for that so that the player can move around and have it not be annoying as shit. And then the lock-on system, you like lock onto something and the camera just goes right up your ass. It's not for me. It's not for me. I think they could do a better job with some of the stuff surrounding the gameplay and have it be a lot more fun. And have the, I just feel like I'm fighting the game and the game design rather than fighting enemies in the game because of these issues that come from just mechanical things rather than like the world, Oh no, fairy trees. Also, when it comes to Nanite and bad performance, it's mostly indie devs that are spamming Steam with games. Yeah. AI slop. So yeah, that does not help with reality about performance optimization. That's also on Steam. Yeah, and then like no one complained about Expedition 33. Like great fucking game, Unreal Engine. No one complained about that one. So, how do you use Nanite correctly? I'm the wrong person to ask about that, but there are definitely some people in chat who understand how to use it properly. You seriously don't know about about the game Red Factions. How young are you? Okay, just because I don't... that doesn't mean I'm young. I just haven't heard of every single game that exists. All right? I'm 30 years old. I've been writing code for 10 years. Well, I've been coding professionally for 10 years. Input queuing is definitely the worst part of the OG Souls combat. It feels clunky, but people call it character. Yeah, I mean, I was fighting the first boss, which I ended up beating. I was like, I'm gonna at least beat one boss in Elden Ring before I put it down. But yeah, it's like the boss has a 2-piece combo and a 3-piece combo, and they look identical up to a certain point, right? And so there's a window that you can attack in after the 2-piece combo. And so when you think it's a 2-piece combo, you'll be mashing the attack button or pressing it. And there is a point where you press the attack button. Before the attack animation starts, you realize, oh, it's the 3-piece combo instead. I need to dodge now or else I'm going to get hit. Your character has not started attacking yet. And you switch to pressing the dodge button. What would the character do? What should the character do? The character should dodge now. The character should dodge now. Guess what doesn't happen in Elden Ring? At least when I played it. The character doesn't dodge, he attacks. Because I crossed the point of no return before the character actually started doing the attack animation. That felt so fucking bad, and it was so triggering. It's like I was fighting the game. That's what I mean by I was fighting the game. Like if the game just listened to and I'm not expecting for the attack animation to be canceled mid-animation. I'm not expecting that. I get that. I'm not asking for animation canceling. I'm asking for, if I haven't started swinging, I should still be able to dodge at any point. I should be able to change that input. The input is queued, and you can't kick it out of the queue after a certain point. Like, that's what fucking frustrates me about the game. That's one of the big things. Are you going to continue the development process completely alone? Is this project more of a learning curve for you? It definitely was. I mean, I didn't know anything about Unreal Engine, C++ or game dev before I started working on this, so it has been and will continue to be a big learning curve for me. But you know, I'm not taking it super seriously. I'm just having fun with it. I enjoy it. I hope I can work on this for the rest of my life, so I don't really care. You're just a scrub, JK. I don't like it either. Yeah, it's divisive for sure. But one comes with the slaw and a drink, the other doesn't. But you didn't know that until you got curb stomped. Right, yeah, you don't know that until the two-piece finishes, right? From Software just excels in narrative environmental storytelling and has unique modeling. Yeah, the game looks great. Like, I enjoy watching Elden Ring. It's fun to watch. Environments are great, enemies are great. You know, the RPG side of it is great. Followed you, thank you for the follow. I want to see where this game goes and ends as. Yeah, it's gonna be a long journey, so buckle the fuck up. Model leaves and foliage, translucent and stencil materials are a no-go. You have to use all nanite or not at all, or you get big performance hits with your lighting models. Well, you can go crazy with geo counts. The geo counts hit your perf in other areas. Memory does CPU load times. Yeah. Yeah, and like one thing for me is like the terrain is not going to be able to be nanite because they're dynamic mesh components. So they cannot be nanite. So I am planning to use nanite for all the assets because it'll be actually super nice for me. I'm buckled, let's go. Hell yeah. But yeah, I'll have to see if it just, I'll definitely have to do some testing and just kind of see if LOD, maybe I'll go LODs, you know? But yeah. What am I doing now? What am I working on? Let's go ahead and commit this. We just like moved a couple things to the background threads. So change some processors to parallel cores. I think that's fine for now. Commit anyway and push. Yeah. Push. So what do we want to work on now? I think, let me pull up my little to-do here. My little to-doozies. To-do dizzles. I want to kill this guy real quick, though. Oh my god. Dude's MLG. My animations kind of suck, but... You aren't using Lumen and Virtual Shadow Mask right now, so your static mesh landscape will probably be fine. Well, it's not static mesh. Dynamic mesh. How powerful your PC is to have this smoothly running like this. I have a 7700X and a 3080 Ti. 64 gigs of RAM. Being level 2. Yeah, I always feel like the thing lacking in survival games is like a talent tree and like, oh, fucking big whiff there, and like magic and stuff. And Shrouded, I think, did a good job. But it's still like, there's no like activatable abilities. I might die here. Okay, woo, that was close. Are there any mushrooms for me to eat up here? Because like every survival game, like your hotbar is just filled with your tools. It's just filled with fucking tools, like, instead of abilities. And that's, having abilities is way more fun than the engaging gameplay that exists from switching between tools. Is this WoW? It's so crazy. I did one thing. Everyone thinks this is WoW now. I mean, I am very inspired by WoW, so I get it. But it is crazy how often people say that. Oh, sorry. Your non-nanite, non-landscape landscape. Yeah, please be specific, Adder. You need to know my entire... You need to know my entire approach to landscape before you can comment. I love Enshrouded, good game. It didn't grab me. Like, and I think I just didn't get deep enough into the game. I do intend to give it another go at some point, but I don't know. It just didn't grab me very much. I kind of hate the, I hate a couple things about it. One, I hate how the destructible terrain resets, like after a night or something like that. I hate that. That feels shallow. It makes me feel like my, you know, what I go out and do in the world doesn't matter, right? I don't like that. I don't like that the base is kind of, it feels somewhat like spending time building up a nice base. There's no point to it. Like, your base doesn't get attacked. You don't need to defend your base. You know, there's no like bonuses for like aesthetics or anything like that. And then the NPCs in your base, you just kind of place. And the NPCs are literally just buildings, basically. And you just have this area to build your base in. And anything outside that area just resets. And so it's like, I don't know, it felt a little shallow. I also don't like when they have a grappling hook in the game. But the grappling hook, it's literally just a fucking button. Like, it's just a button. Like, there's no actual gameplay surrounding it. So I was like, what is the point of... And it literally, it's not like a Legend of Zelda, like, hook shot or anything. Where you have to, like, realize you have to look for certain cues in the world to be like, oh, I can use my hook shot on that. And I can hook shot over there, and then I can use that to get over there. And then you have to actually aim it and hit the thing. It's not like that. It's literally just like, if you walk up to a place, there's going to be a big E that shows on the screen right where you need to, and you just press E and your guy just goes straight there. And so I'm like, I mean, it's not taking away from the game, but it's just kind of like, why even have that at that point? But I do like that they have like a really nice tree of abilities and talents. That's really cool. I love the gear. I like, seems a lot better than like a traditional survival game where it doesn't have either of those things. But I feel myself liking Valheim more, despite Valheim not having either of those things. I do agree that we need more survival games that have abilities. Yeah, 100%. Look at Minecraft, though. What about Minecraft? As you're making magic and adventure, you find some inspiration from Enshrouded that would make the game better and wish Enshrouded had. I find the movement to be in Enshrouded to be very floaty as well. You need Valheim with abilities. That's more so what I would like, yeah. But the movement in Valheim is very, or not Valheim, in Enshrouded is very weird. Like, you can just jump and you can change direction in air. Like, you can just like jump and completely swing your guy around. Like, it feels so weird. And then when you hit the ground, you can do a roll. And you can like literally just roll up mountains. It just, and like the sprint is so fast. And then you have like the glider too. And it's just like, you can just like, I don't know, the movement always felt off to me too. It felt kind of floaty and not grounded in the game. I liked how Conan Exiles does their lore in an open world sandbox. How's that? How is that? Just Cause IP felt the same way with the movement, you're saying? Thematically, I like Enshrouded quite a bit. I don't know that there was anything. I didn't play it very much, so I need to get more into it, but I have watched it played on like stream and stuff like that. Yeah, wingsuits, long jumps, minimal fall damage, effortlessly jumping off mountains and whatnot. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if I'm gonna have a glider in my game. I know it's fun, but I do think it trivializes the world, and I would rather solve the root problem of traveling somewhere is not fun. Like, I think if you make traveling somewhere fun, I think that's the root problem, right? Or repetitive and stuff. Made the huge world feel small because of movement. Yeah, exactly. That's ruined world scale. 100%. 100%, yeah. I definitely do not want any fast... The only fast travel I am going to have in my game, I may let you do... Super in-game, I may let you do, like, up to, you know, 3-4 portals on the world. So you can have, like, a portal over here to over here, you know, but that's super, super in-game. Super in-game. So, besides that, the only thing you can do is... I'm going to do flight paths like WoW, but you have to set them up yourself as a player, which means you need a colonist who can... First of all, you need to find griffins or some other flying creature that I decide you can use for flight paths. You have to... You probably need 2 per flight path. And then you need, in each destination, in each colony to and from, you will need an animal handler to make sure that that griffin stays tamed, and then you will need a griffin master. And maybe those are one and the same, but the point is you have to set those up, and you have to place those in the world. And it's not instant. You will get on the back of that griffin, and it will just take you on a generated spline through the world. And that way it's still, you're still traveling through the world, but there's a lot of upfront cost to it. And like, you're still seeing the world, experiencing the size of the world, you know? So I think that's a lot better way to do it, rather than letting you just glide off of any mountain into any zone and stuff like that, you know? Items and dungeons for the most part, and environmental storytelling with flavor text. Oh yeah, I love that stuff. Environmental storytelling is awesome. Fallout 4 does a great job with that as well. Or just any of the Fallout games, really. They also had a framework for it since they had a book to work with. Yeah, having some upfront lore is really nice to go from. Other flying mounts? No. No, fuck flying mounts. Flying mounts ruin almost every game they're in. I have not seen a game with flying mounts that has not been ruined by them. I'll say that. That trivializes the world more than fast travel. That's actually worse than fast travel. And gliders. That is the worst form of it. Because the game effectively just becomes an instance game, where the loading screen is the time taken to fly anywhere. Because there's no danger. Like, you can literally hop on your mount, go up, go over, go back down. It's not fun. Makes the world feel small, just like Adder was saying. Ruins the scale. There's no danger in the world anymore. You have to, like, really... If you want that in your game, you have to really, really specifically build that in your game to where, like, that is a core part of your game. Otherwise, it's just not going to fit, I don't think. Will you add live dice for stats? What do you mean by live dice? I do hope to have some Baldur's Gate type conversational checks where a kind of dice gets rolled, you know. Not sure what you mean by live dice for stats, though. Like, I do have stats. There are, like, stats here, you know. I have not done anything today, and I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. That's okay, though. That's okay. Now, I guess the next loop. Let's talk about the next loop I should work on here. Do you play Kenshi? No, but I do know of it, and it is along the lines of something like RimWorld, right? It's a very similar in game design principles. You know, very sandboxy, very make your own story kind of thing. So I'm sure there will be some similarities despite me not playing it. Yeah, I guess we should spawn some colonists now. When you attack or open chests, you can add a pop-up dice. when you attack that constantly rolls, and when you hit an enemy, open a chest, you get the number as either damage extra or luck on the chest's loot. Is that a system that is common? You said it like it was like a thing that a lot of games have. I'm unaware of any system like that that's in games that I've played. Live dice for stats. I mean, there is RNG on attacks and stuff. I don't show it as like a dice that is you know, rolling. But I like the underlying of what you're saying is in the game, but that's in every game already. Never use system that I am looking for. I see. Yeah, that you know, tip if you're asking someone about that, live dice is not. You will need more explanation into the question or into that. I think for people to understand what you're talking about. I was hoping that dice could be manipulated with stats of luck. I mean, Fallout has a luck stat that gets taken into account for stuff like that. I haven't seen any game like there are games that use luck or RNG rolls, but I've never seen it represented as like a dice that is showing on screen and rolling constantly. Character's got dice in his pockets. Each action is life ready to roll. Hey, that's how D&D goes, and D&D is a lot of fun. D20 dice mechanics better fit for regular RPG games. Like I said, I do want to do it for conversational things, but yeah, attacks will just be, you know, automatic stuff that happens, but it's all just based on the same random number generator, so all you're doing is spoofing, you're making a dice look like it's being rolled when you already know the number. Like, the second it rolls, you already know what the number is because you've already ran the RNG function. You're just like playing some animation and then putting a, you know, the number picking the correct number texture. But yeah, I guess we should spawn some colonists to actually recruit. We should do that. I'm gonna take a seat right now. Done enough standing. We've done enough standing for now. Okay, come on down. Come on down. Okay. So, let's open up our background spawns ECG graph. And actually, what is this saying to me? Attribute none was not found. Output to B. B require service. Oh yeah, I changed that. Yeah, I changed that. We're gonna ignore that for now. Oh, and my enemies attack colonists, which I don't think I want them to do. Okay, so let's let me go to my spawn defs, which I think I put them on the PCG. Yeah, on the biome definitions, I think. Yeah, here they are. So mob spawn defs, mob spawn entries. Okay, so here's the definition for like each zone, I suppose. And we got spawn radius, wander target, point sample mode. Yeah, so we can just add another one of these and just do the colonist. But I guess I need my colonist state tree. My colonist state tree is the one that actually wanders around and looks for food. Do I want that? Do I want them running around in the world? Or do I just want them wandering, doing their idle wander logic? Because like right now these guys are just doing like idle wander logic. But I do have a little state tree that, like, you know, they have hunger and sleep stats, and so they'll go look for food and grab the food. So I'm wondering if I should just have that on by default for the colonists. I don't know. I still don't know how, like, there's gonna be a lot of different ways you can come across colonists, and I guess let's just do the simplest version for now, which is, yeah, to just have them have the default behavior. That's the simplest version right now. Colonist warrior, sure. Spawn some of those. And if I right click, mountain, and if I shift left click, can I, oh, no, that's not what I wanted. We gotta add one and then, yeah, and then do, okay. Okay, meadow. Boom. Forest. Boom. And they're all just warriors for now. And right now I need to update these enemies will attack them right now. So I don't want that because they will all die because the enemy's gang up on them. Hello. Oh, this guy happened finally. Okay, here's a new issue. Why custom data? What is static custom data here? They're supposed to be static and unchanging. Okay, so it seemed to append it twice. Now I'm wondering, are we making sure that we're only running this? He is processing. Yeah, we're only running this once at a time. So how would it append static custom data twice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it should be 8. It is appending it twice. Yeah, where is that happening at? I'm pretty sure the only places I do this in, yeah, are up here and down here. So how did both of these get hit? Or rather, like, process entity locomotion. Static custom data, it's 3. So yeah, this, I mean, there had to have been a race condition, a threading race condition or something happened here, right? But process entity ability animation, like that should, I'm not fighting anything right now, so that shouldn't be happening for any of them. And I'm guarding the async processing. With the B is processing true and false. So there's no way 2 of these are running at the same time. And I'm literally setting it in the line. So yeah, how the hell does this happen? I could easily write some code to just, like, you know, not do it. Oh, what happened with my button guy? Okay, he's back. I could very easily write some code to just be like, hey, if it's already 8, don't do this. But maybe I should be like, let's do another check here. Oh, come on, writer. I just want to copy paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it should have 5. If it's not equal to 5, I want to know about it. You come talk to me. You come see me. You're not equal to 5, come see me. Day after class. I mean, I guess we'll just wait for it to happen again, because, like, I really want to understand the root cause of this. Because it doesn't make sense that, like, I'm literally setting it equal to 5 array length here. And then static custom data is 3. I can see that. So I append 3 on there. And now all of a sudden it's 11. That doesn't add up. So it got changed somewhere else. And the only other place I change it is in the other process entity ability anim. Which should not have happened. Are there any logs that are... No. No, okay. I don't know, does this fail or does he just get mad? He just gets mad. Okay, so we can run live coding. Okay. Okay, but we've added all of our colonists on there. So we're going to stop and restart this. But we need to change the enemy faction information. Entity faction enemy. So you... Opinions of other factions. Aggro towards other factions. We'll just do attack back only for everything for now, just for testing purposes. Yeah. Okay, so that should spawn them and make them not attack each other. No fighting, or I will turn this car around. I feel you have to have so many mechanics elements to make use of dice mechanics for the variety, which is intensive in huge MMO worlds, or usually at least no one's tried it. Yeah, I'm a little fuzzy on what exactly dice mechanics are. Like, because like, if it's just RNG you're talking about, games use RNG all the time, right? Like, you might not realize it. Like literally every combat, you know, RNG is running for everything that happens. But if you're talking about like the animation of rolling a dice and using, like, it's still the same underlying RNG, right? That's the same, but you're just adding an animation onto it to make it more of like an interactive thing. Like attacks, trap checking, persuasion, insight. I mean, I think you guys are talking about like Baldur's Gate type stuff, where it does that. But that's more so to just simulate a D&D type thing. And like, the reason Baldur's Gate can do that is because it's turn-based, right? Like it, for the animation thing, you know? Guess it's just always a chance for failure success, I guess, when in the nats with nat 1s and 20s. I RNG practically every feature I work on. Only way to make it feel real natural, design, art, just all in the back end. Yeah, and I think I take the same approach. Like, you know, if I'm setting a value, I actually have two values, which is min and max. And then I do some RNG between that. Just to make it, just to vary it, right? Just to make it not so mono paced, you know? Here are my colonists, though. They're here. And they're not getting attacked, so that's good. Are you stuck? Wait, hang on. Are you he was stuck, actually. What? Why were you stuck? Can you get stuck again so I can run the visual logger? Wait, did we get here again? Sir, I had the logs. I had the breakpoints. How did that fucking happen? Oh, the live coding didn't run properly. Okay, let's just rebuild. We're gonna rebuild. Okay. How's the game coming? Shrill Duck, hello. I like your ducky. Game is coming. Soon. Yeah. Got that live coding RNG. Yeah, I guess like sometimes Ryder doesn't properly save the file before I hit the live coding button, and I think that's what kind of messes it up sometimes. Okay, can we build now? Is it coming out in the year 3000? No, probably 3100, probably. Okay, thank you, please. Thank you. You can close all those now. Start. Yeah, just start. Just start. Okay. How many AI can you have on screen at one time in your game? I mean, I've gone up to like 10,000. It kind of depends on like how many are close to you or not, but and like what they're doing. If they're just walking around, you know, you can just have 10,000. Combat is my biggest bottleneck now. So I'll probably have to rewrite or overwrite certain parts of GAS, the built-in gameplay ability system that I'm using in Unreal Engine, so that it can run on the background thread. Because right now, once you get up to like 200 entities in combat, it's like 30 FPS, you know. So is this one of those games that gets passed down for thousands and thousands of years to your kids' kids? Yeah, kind of one of those perpetual soups that they make in like China or some shit, you know? Where it's like they've just been making the same soup in the same pot for like generations. It's just always going. Are you using mass? No, I didn't like mass. I didn't like mass. So I wrote my own. I have my own ECS system here. Primal Instinct, welcome in. That ridge is accidentally beautiful. Yeah, I know. This is all about accidental beauty here. I'm not sure which ridge you're talking about, but your ridges are nice. You guys like a game with nice ridges, huh? But yeah, I found mass very difficult to work with. And I tried it out back in like 5.1 or 5.2 and it wasn't as good, you know? So it was just very difficult to work with. It was very, seems very bespoke. Hey, come here. You don't have, oh right, I stopped, okay, this will be interesting. I stopped giving you guys character info. No, come back, come back. Put it on the marketplace for like $400 and everyone buy that. Well, that would require me to like make it into a plugin and make it, you know, generic, which is a massive pain in the ass. It's very bespoke at the moment, specifically for my game. Okay, so we got, oh my God, that's so funny. So because this is an AI generated quest, by the way. And so because I didn't, because I stopped adding character info on these, he's 0 years old. That's the default. A 0-year-old warrior who's dumb and aggressive, apparently, is what this guy is. And so the quest it generated. The infant makes a cooing sounds, but no words are spoken. I found a seemingly abandoned infant in a crude shelter. It appears I have no choice but to protect it and determine its origin. Ensure the infant's immediate needs are met by finding sustenance, warmth, and safety. Objectives. Obtain sustenance for the infant. Build secure shelter. Where did you find this baby? There's no one around here to tell you anything. Does this baby have any family? I don't see any signs of any parents being around. I can't get involved in this. The infant whimpers. That's so fucking funny. I'll see what I can do. The infant gurgles contentedly. I don't even know what that means. Maybe we need more stylization to not look like every other random generated forest game. Yeah, these are all just placeholder assets. So this is not, none of this is going to be what it finally looks like. Make UE inside RPG Maker instead. Hey, I'll fucking do it. I will. Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. That's the kind of mad shit that I would do. For no reason either. But yeah, I have a quest now. The Protectorate's Burden. But yeah, let me... Oh, he's hungry again. The baby's hungry. Join my colony. Yeah, I don't think you can actually chop trees. But I think you can forage. Oh, he was hungry. Okay, so he's eating food. And so I have everything made so I can just drag and drop everything, so future games will be easier to make. I mean, yeah, that's like the whole point of, you know, building systems in a game engine, right? So that you don't have to rebuild systems and you can just, you know, you build what you need. Oh, he is doing the task. Hey, sir, you were supposed to be finding things. He couldn't find any, so he gave up. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything in the radius. Oh, he's just walking and doing it. Can you pick up the pace a little bit, man? You're a little slow. Yeah, he's taking a very leisurely pace to do that. Let me look at the state tree here. Colonist tasks. He's supposed to have the running. Oh, but he does wander after that fails, and then he does the wander. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes sense. Ability to speed up colonists get to work. Yeah, I think I'll have like a kind of like a I don't know what to call it, but like a colony state where you can be like, hey, everyone just be kind of leisurely work, and then they'll be happier. But sometimes, you know, like maybe like right after a battle or a raid or something, you need to be like, okay, everyone, you know, pick up the pace, you know, crack the whip, so to speak, and then they'll like run everywhere while they're doing things. But then they'll be, you know, they'll get more tired, they'll eat more food, and they'll be less happy. I think is what I'll do with that. Okay, so they can join my colony. And I was talking about this yesterday, but I need a way for them to like go to a colony, and I guess I don't have one. I haven't built anything, so I don't know. Maybe should you had to have built something first to have colonists join you? And how do I explain that to the players, you know? I definitely need some more thought on getting them, like, you know, getting that initial flow going. I think once you have a colony, you know, it's pretty easy to make a system that makes it clear to the users, to the players when they're recruiting colonists and such. I kind of want to, I really want to work on this one, but it's not imperative right now. This is probably the most imperative thing, because all those entities that are just like wandering, like they don't actually need to be, right? Like that's not a simulation I need to be running. But I do need like entity invokers, so I need colonists to be entity invokers that kind of turn on entities. Those are hard design decisions you need to make. Yeah, it's probably something I'll do off stream, which is why I'm just looking at this. I do have to get to work soon though, so maybe this is the end of the stream, maybe. More entity types is nice, but also not super necessary. I do really want this flow to be figured out, like the recruiting colonists and stuff, because then that'll start getting me into the Colony Sim loop, and I can start working on more Colony Sim stuff, other than just like the survival basics, you know. I know, cry. But I really want to do these two because this is just going to make it, this is going to make things so much smoother. Because it is a little hitchy. A little. It's a lot hitchy when I run the game. Quixo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Quixo, oh. So yeah, it would be nice to get that nice and smooth. And then when I do that, I'll probably tinker with the noise settings a little more because this will involve, like, the terrain's gonna look completely different after I do that because it's different noise generators that I'll actually be doing. So I'm gonna switch over to the fast noise plugin, which is as it sounds, it's very fast. It uses like specific processor architectures called SIMDs, SIMD, single instruction multiple data. And it's like apparently just like a really good performance improvement for generating noise. And so you can generate like a ton of noise very quickly. You know, very, very similar to a child. Generating a lot of noise very quickly. Destructible terrain is important too. Like I have it proof of concepted, but I need to get it like, you know, working well, which I need new animations for the pickaxe stuff. And then I need some way to save that as well. I need to serialize that. I need to actually do the deformation as well. But I think I would want a colony. I would want a colony first. And like the destructible terrain, there's no purpose to it, probably until we get to ore spawning ore in the world. Are you solo dev on this? Yeah, this is just free time hobby project stuff. Those are juicy topics. Yeah, each one of these is quite juicy. And honestly, I need to put like colony raids here at some point as well to actually make that system, like I need to get attacked. And then eventually, AI ran colonies. I'll put that next to procedural POIs. But I probably need like farming and stuff and crafting and shit first. So let's do like AI ran colonies. But I can like just randomly spawn raids. Did you ever say your game's name? Yes, my game's name is My Project. So write that down. Don't actually. I don't have a name for it. I don't have a name for it. I think I need to figure out more of the lore, which I do have some like base ideas and stuff, but nothing concrete yet. I only have 62 pages of notes, so. Where would I want to do colony raid? I mean, I could probably just, let me do this. Colony raids. Because once I figure this stuff out, I'll have like the colony kind of structure built, and then I can start doing procedural colony raids like RNG, you know, like the Randy random raids. World of Colony world. Colony Sim RPG Roguelite world with procedural destructible terrain. Oh yeah, oh I love that game. Multiplayer? Yeah, I need to do multiplayer in here too. Let me fucking put that somewhere. It's really just gonna be like a base pass at it, right? Yeah, I think after destructible terrain for sure. This one is kind of just that one's gonna be important too, I think. Right now each building is a individual actor, which is not gonna be scalable. I need to change those to nanite isms. Procedural points of interest, maybe multiplayer goes in here once we get a little colony sim loop going, you know. And honestly, maybe farming goes higher because otherwise you're just going to send your colonists to go forage for shit. And I mean, this could balloon up into a giant task. I need ore spawning before I can do crafting, because I need those resources, right? I need to do another pass on tree chopping too, actually, because now there's just going to be trunks everywhere that don't those trunks never get cleaned up. They just kind of float around in the world for a while. So that's going to be somewhat important for the. Maybe that's just a part of Colony Sim things. I think this is feeling more important to me. I need that for sure. How about putting a lot of words on a board and using a dice to pick your... You're really into dice, aren't you? To pick your game's name on stream, like the blank of blank, and you can put 20 words for a 20-side dice on both empty slots. Yeah, I don't want to RNG my name. I do not want to RNG my name. I want to be very intentional and think very, very hard about that. That's an important thing. They're all going to balloon into a giant task. Are you kidding? No, they won't. No, they won't. The blank of blank, the blankening. All right, we found it. We found it. Dice guy and automated test guy. Yeah, it's fun. The dice guy's a lot nicer than automated test guy. I like dice guy. Dice guy talks game design ideas, and I like that. Automated test guy was just trying to shoehorn some really weird agenda into the stream. Like, does anyone want to, like, does anyone actually want to watch me make automated tests? Dude, this guy is in my fucking head. He's living rent free. I wouldn't think anyone would want to watch me just make tests. Like, that is not, I hate writing tests. I don't think people would want to watch that. Each one will end up with 7+ bullet points. Well, these are like major things. Like the bullet points are down here, right? And sometimes in different documents. Like, here's the building. I'm gonna do a whole building controls refactor too. Here's my procedural spawns and points of interest notes. Terrain data, terrain gen refactor, which is kind of done. So this is just high level stuff up here. It's gonna be high level. Are you building another game like my? What do you mean another? This is my first game, so I'm not building another game. But no, it is not Minecraft by any means. Your dice guy will roll, and when it gets to a spot to jump, it will jump as high as the number it's on. Yeah, yeah. That just sounds like a board game. That sounds like a fun board game. I don't know if people want to play a video game like that. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what I should actually work on next. This is important. I do need to build that system. More entity types is really just a nice to have. I don't actually need more. It would be nice to show off the game, right? It would be nice to get some, like, and it would be nice for like crafting and cooking and stuff, you know? Ooh, yeah, I should do cooking. That maybe goes along with farming. I think maybe let's at least do tree chopping pass before multiplayer, I think. Your game. Thank you. Will this game have a story? And if it does, can we get a summary? Yeah, I mean, I do hope for there to be lore in the game. I don't have anything concrete yet. Like I was saying this just a little bit ago, but I have some lore ideas, but it's going to be very godsy. I think, you know, gods are going to have a lot to do with it. I think gods are like a great way to explain like game design decisions in a flavorful way, right? Like, oh, the player can or can't do, you know, XYZ, and it's because of the gods, you know, the god. So I think, I've always just liked Greek and Norse mythology and stuff. I think it's cool, the stories and stuff. And I like how the gods are kind of like this embodiment of different vibes, and they can represent themselves in the world in different ways. I've always liked that too. Okay, Shrill Duck, you're now the dice guy. Shrill Duck is the new dice guy. But yeah, there's probably going to be, I don't know, like, yeah, I really have nothing concrete for the lore, just like different things I've typed out, really. So no concrete story. It's going to be very sandboxy, but there is going to be lore. So it's kind of like make your own story within this world that has this lore kind of vibe. Let me think here. More entity types. I would really like some wolves to get put in the forest, but more entity types is just kind of a pain because I have to do all the vertex animated texture stuff. But when I do this, I'm going to make some improvements to that workflow. You know, build the tools for that now that I know what I'm doing more. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for PCG optimization, but I know it needs to be done because that's where a lot of the hitching comes from. Like a pantheon/polytheistic world order framework, tried and true. Yeah, and like different gods, you know, there's gonna be a god of chaos and a god of order, you know, maybe a fire god or, you know, a god of the earth, that kind of stuff. God of war, maybe. Who knows? God of the underworld for sure. And then, you know, all the bickering that happens between all that. What is the core game loop objective? I honestly don't like the obsession with game loops. And like everyone's like, you have to have your game loop. I'm like, I don't know. I think if you focus too much on a game loop when you're making the game, your game is going to feel very loopy. To me, it's more about the world. Like if you build the world and build fun things to do in the world that work together, you know, that's the sandbox you can let your players play in. So I have a very sandbox mindset when it comes to that. And I'm not saying that I'm not thinking about a game loop at all. I do have, you know, a rough loop in my mind. But, you know, the objective is, there's not like a single objective. I don't think there will be. You know, maybe I'll write a main storyline. I don't know. I kind of want to experiment with there being no main storyline, you know, and see how that feels. You know, do the players need a North Star to anchor themselves to in order to feel like they want to progress in the world, to level up, to try new builds, to build their colony, to build new colonies, to iterate on that? Do they need that? I don't know. I would like to play around with it. Will your crafting and cooking systems be instant or time or mini game based? You know, that's a great question. They will take time because they are, like, you will have skills. Like it's going to be like RimWorld. Like you have a cooking skill, plant skill, tree chopping, mining, and the more you do it, the faster it gets, you know? And same with your colonists. But it's going to be more so about making your colonists do it, right? But like you can still do it as a player. And then I think the player you're going to have, you can, I'm thinking maybe you can pick like 2 specializations or something where you can specialize in a couple skills. Maybe that's herbalism and alchemy, right? And then you can get to like a higher level because of that, and you can craft cooler stuff because of that. You can grab cooler herbs because of that. But yeah, it is going to be time-based. It is going to be time-based. A mini game would be cool, but that's kind of like a nice to have at this point, right? Like my scope is already huge. I do like the mini games and like the old Fable games. I think that would be really cool to actually make it fun. And like, I think that the way I set them up, especially with gathering, I think you don't really need like a specific mini game to make like tree chopping fun. Like I was talking about with tree dominoes, when you chop a tree, it's dynamic, so there's some funness in that. You know, when it hits another tree, it'll deal damage. When it hits other entities, it'll deal damage. You know, there's funness in that. Loop is to have multiple loops. Well, you guys should check out the, what is it? Loop Hero. Now that's a game about loops. It's actually a great game too. That's fair. The game loop could just be sandbox and survival. Minecraft is in the same mindset. Yeah, but Minecraft also has like an end, right? Like you have the Ender Dragon. So I'm wondering if I kind of need that big goal for the players to go towards or not, or if it can just be, because I'm going to have the procedural quest or the AI generated quests, maybe some procedural quests too. And, you know, the stories that evolve from that. So I'm wondering if just having those kinds of quests where it's not like a main quest and you're just kind of like, the quests are just kind of generated and you're just kind of using those to facilitate the gameplay. If that's going to be enough. I kind of feel like players do want that kind of North Star though. I feel like a lot of players want that main story quest kind of thing. But it's something I'd like to experiment with because I just haven't seen a game that doesn't have like that main thing, right? Like in, you know, Valheim, there are different tiers of biomes and you make your way through each biome and there's a boss in there's a boss that relates to each biome and you have to find it in the world and you have to kill it, and then that unlocks like the next tier. And so like there is that kind of like deterministic next level to something like Valheim. You know, there is that to Minecraft in the Ender Dragon, you know. Yeah, so I would like to experiment with that. I feel an open, ambiguous narrative environmental is best to let the player formulate lore for you. Yeah, the whole point of sandboxy stuff, right? And like in RimWorld, like I never play RimWorld to finish the game, and I haven't. I've never beaten RimWorld. I don't want to. In RimWorld, the goal is to get off the planet, and there's various ways you can do that. But like the first one, and every expansion that comes out, they add like a new way to win the game. But in RimWorld, like the base one is you need to build the spaceship. You build the spaceship. You have to like research all this tech, get all these resources, build it, and get off the rim. And you know you get attacked by like massive raids while you're building it and trying to launch it. So even a sandboxy game like RimWorld has that end goal there. I never do it. Like I eventually get to a point in a colony where it's like self-sufficient, and then I kind of stop playing because the struggle is gone. There's no more struggle. Are you considering hiding an Easter egg? Please say you got a few in mind. Yeah, I have some, I have some things that I would like to do, like callbacks to other games and stuff like that. Yeah. Are you making a game? I am. I'm really just yapping now, so we're not really working on making it too much, but here's the game. I say as I don't click the button to play the game. Here's the game, blank screen. Yeah, RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain. Very large world. I'm only like generating a small portion of it for testing right now. Did you say gods or goths? Goth girls. You know, I should put goth girls in the game though. Gods is what I was saying. Here's the world map. So we're only generating like this big, about this big of a radius right now. So quite large. I might make it smaller, we'll see. Variety in loops, or like setting multiple hooks for fish. I think you mean like there's multiple things for the player to like sink their teeth into in the game. And yeah, that's kind of like why I want to think about world first. And then think about how all these systems interact with each other and support each other, right? Like there's a colony sim system. How does that interact with, all the environmental things in the world, exploring the world, building your own colony? If you've got a colonist who's a good crafter, how does that interact with, making gear for the player and stuff like that? He's just boot scooting his way over there. Did he grab food from all the way up there? Oh no, he grabbed it off the end here. Oh. Poop. People order our patties. Oh. Big titty goth. Yes, Hasty. Yes, Hasty. But I was just trying to figure out like what should I work on next? And I think we're approaching getting like a little loop going. We are approaching it. I think once I get done with the, you know, I'm not going to finish all the Colony Sim things on this bullet point, but this is just like getting the Colony Sim flow going, I think, is when we'll actually start to get like a loop going, I think. I was just chilling there on the edge. Yeah, it was cute. I thought my logic was off. Because like these are food, and I thought he was just I thought he could grab it from all the way. I thought he could grab one of these from all the way up there, but no, he just grabbed the one on the edge. Which was kind of cool, I suppose. You just got a caveman. He's just wandering around in the cave. Yeah, I like the stage and history setup as primary setup in a game design document. Ugh, I hope I never write a game design document. I kind of hate like a game loop. I hate how much people fucking talk about them. Or like core pillars, like ugh. Taking all the fun out of game design. I write too many fucking design docs for work. I don't want to write more for hobby shit, you know? Boom, boom, boo-doo-doo. 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 I'm just kind of chilling until my meeting starts here, I guess. You gotta like writing. I mean, I like iterating on game design ideas. Like this is 62 pages. Like I'm not afraid of typing some stuff out, you know. And I got multiple docs. It's just like, I don't know, this circle jerk about it. Like, I don't know, people seem like kind of pretentious about game design documents, honestly, is the vibe I get. And I get that they're important. And I feel like the only reason people do it is to get money. Like, they're not doing it because that's like what they think they should do for themselves. So I think what would be in the game design document would be a little different. If they were just doing it for themselves and like the people that they're working with. Repetition. Thank you. Not sure what you mean, but thank you. Because I think if you were just writing down game design ideals and stuff like that, like you would write it differently and you wouldn't be so like opinionated about it, I guess. Like I more so understand, like definitely you want some core game design pillars. But I've seen things online where it's like you need 3. You have to have 3, no more, no less, core game design pillars. It's like, okay, well, what if I want more? Okay, if I had to pick 3 core pillars now, it's I would pick fucking what would I pick? The struggle's real. What, like replayability? Or like RNG? Like, struggle is real, like, you know, fun through RNG chaos, and Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. That's what I would pick. Those are my game design pillars. Who knows that scene? That was a great scene. In your opinion, which is more portable in gaming systems, Java or C++? Like, which one can you fit in any device? I think you're thinking about it wrong. You sound like you're maybe someone who's new to game dev. But respect you for trying to learn more about it. It's not really about the language so much as the engine that you're using, right? Unless you're trying to make your own engine. And if you're doing that, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you have to ask, you're probably need to learn more before you do it. Not trying to be mean, just realistic here. Those are solid pillars. I'd mega grant that. Yeah. Usually C++ is used more in game development if you're making your own engine. Usually. Unless you're I think Minecraft is the only game I'm aware of that is in Java. And it's not really about what you can fit in any device. The portability of it is, like that just kind of comes with the engine that you pick. Like Unreal Engine, Unity, Godot, the big ones all kind of have options to run on different devices. So, start trying to learn a game engine first before thinking about, you know, that kind of thing. Because it sounds like you're thinking about writing your own game engine or something, which is a lot. It's a lot. And I think you probably need a perspective from a commercial or enterprise game engine before you should make your own. Because then you'll formulate some opinions about, like, you know, what you like, what you don't like in a game engine, that kind of stuff. Yeah. A lot of Minecraft is wrapped in C++ now. Oh, really? As far as I think, a lot of the Java has been refactored. What do you mean Notch wasn't a god? Was he not a god after all? I interviewed with the early Minecraft team, and they were actively refactoring at the time, as any team should be. That's cool. I applied to a few Minecraft positions as well. I didn't get an interview for them, though. I got an interview at a different Microsoft entity that I did not accept. Well, I accepted the interview. I didn't accept the offer. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, is this what I want to do? Is this the path forward? And colony raids is really just like a base, like, shitty RNG raid, you know. I guess I'll have to do some design on the scaling of those raids. In RimWorld, the way they scale raids is based on your colony wealth. And so, like, everything you have in your colony, every item you have, or everything you built has like a wealth value. And so actually, when you're playing the game on harder difficulties, you need to understand that, because you need to wealth dump, which is where, like, after you've accumulated like resources and shit, if you have too many, you need to get rid of them. If you have too many and you're not using them for anything like productive, you need to get rid of them, or else you're going to get smacked with a giant raid. And when you get smacked with a raid, you know, they all drop their like shit, their like, you know, weapons and stuff. And then that just adds to your wealth. And so it's like, if you're not using certain weapons, you got to like put them in the smelter. You got to like give them away to other colonies and stuff like that. I don't know if that's how I want to scale the raids. I definitely want there to be like a pacing, like a kind of built-in overtime pacing to it. But I also want you to be able to do the colony sim side of the game at your own pace. So trying to figure out a way to do that, because it's like I want it to be kind of time-based, because I want like I kind of hate when games don't let you make bad decisions. You know, that's what I hate in games nowadays. Like, let me lose. I hate when every build is good. I hate when every build is viable, because then it just doesn't feel like my choices matter. I'm not saying that RimWorld does it. I'm thinking of something more like, you know, World of Warcraft or something, like, or a lot of these games that come out with like class systems. Like, it's like every build is good, and of course there's like one meta build that's fucking 5% better than the other ones. Like, okay, sure, but no, I literally want you to be able to not progress if you pick a bad build. And same goes for the colony sim side of things. If you don't set up your colony, I want it to die. If you don't do it correctly, I want it to die. If you don't set up enough defenses in the right way, if your colony is not efficient enough, I want it to die. And probably you along with it. Because I think that actually in the long run makes the game more impactful, and I think that adds to longevity and replayability of the game. And so doing like an overtime raid where the difficulty builds up over time, you know, but what is time there? I don't know. I don't know how time is represented there. I suppose you could do it based off of like player action. Because like I was saying, I still want you to be, this is combining genres that there's not been a whole lot of combination of yet. RPG and Colony Sim. There's going to be some players that just want to play this as an RPG, and some players that just want to play this as a Colony Sim. I'm thinking maybe something like, maybe something to do with a player Colony Sim action. Like whenever the player is interacting with the Colony Sim systems in the game, that is time. But the time is really just like an action. Right? So it's like the more actions you do in the colony system thing, the more difficult the raids will get. And, a lot of RNG happening there, but there is a curve to it. It's like a scatter plot, almost. Scatter plot curve or something. But then that way, like, that way you don't have to be doing the colony sim. Like, it's not like... another thing I hate is when games literally use timers. Like, I don't like timers in games. The second you put... especially if you put the time on screen, like that is immediately bad to me. That is one of those things that is almost always bad. You should never do that unless you're trying to stress the player out. And so there are situations where you want to do that, right? Some escape sequence maybe, or it's like, oh, you only have this much time to save everyone or something like that. That would be the only instance that you would want to actually put a fucking timer on the screen. And, you can't get away from using time in games. But, like, tying it to, like, actual real-world time is the issue. And so tying it to something more like the amount of actions that have happened rather than how much time has passed in the game world, I think is a good way to abstract that away and still get the same result. And not stress the player out that they, like, oh, I have to be building my colony all the time, improving the colony all the time, or else it's going to, get fucked up, or I'm going to lose. I'm not going to be able to build a colony. And also, like, I do want to incentivize multiple colonies throughout the world. And so, like, what happens when you have, like, one colony that's really big and mature and has a bunch of defenses and another one that doesn't? Like, obviously, I don't want to send this the same level of raid to each one. So there does need to be like some RimWorld-esque wealth mechanic in there. And I know, like, in RimWorld, like the something to do with the beds. Soul guidance. Oh, you made it over to Twitch. Welcome over to Twitch. Welcome. Yeah, the vertical format can be rough. The vertical format can be rough. Here you are. Welcome over. So yeah, I will need some sort of wealth-related system. And I know, like, RimWorld, when they calculate the raids and stuff, there's something specific to beds. Like, I know, like, when the raids come in, they kind of go for beds. And so you can actually kind of use that. Like, if you put all your beds for your colonist in one spot, you can kind of, like, on some level, predict the pathfinding of them and stuff. I love dices and goth girls. Same. Don't we all? Don't we all? Some people just really wear their heart on their sleeve, and your heart is dice and goth girls. And I guess the raid, like that colony sim action that increases raid intensity, that would matter for what your colonists are doing too, right? Like if you have colonists that are researching, that obviously that factors into it, right? That factors into it. And I guess like each there's a different a number of points for each action, I would think. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Well, again, I'll have to think about it. Maybe just like each tick of the construction progress or craft progress or research progress or whatever, each tick of that is one. Each time the player like places a blueprint, that's one. Each time the player does something, each time a colonist does something, you just keep adding one. And then that creates like a pool of points that you can use to spawn raids. And then I'll just have to figure out some cadence to when the raids should happen. And it would be nice to ground these raids in the events that happen in the world. So like maybe like you build something, or like, I don't know, maybe you have like a random, you know, a random enemy come across your base, and then he gets away and tells the colonist about, you know, another set of raiders about it or something. It'll be a strategy type of game or management for your colonist. More like management. Yeah, something closer to Pal World is a good. More in depth than Pal World though, for sure. I did like Pal World, but yeah, it will definitely be more in depth. The pathfinding in Pal World was a little rough, though. A little rough. Since you got world destruction, does this mean moats around your settlements? And can you add water to the moats? Hopefully, yes. I don't have water in the game, but yeah, I will need to work on water mechanics at some point because I have oceans on the map, right? Black is oceans. So I need water. And therefore some water mechanics as well. So yeah, I would love for there to be player built moats. I would love that. They didn't write their own velocity calculator in pathfinding. No, but like they just didn't do the error checking. Like the path finding was fine, and the moving along it was fine, but they would get stuck all the time. And it's like they didn't do any error checking for that, it seemed, because like the number of times I had to put a pal back in his fucking box and then back out just to fix his goddamn pathfinding. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Biggest gripe about the game. Biggest gripe about the game. Are you guys stuck? What are you doing? What is he doing? Wait, which entities are these? 104. Oh Jesus, we have so many errors here, but I mean most of them are moving fine, so that's good. Not actual errors. 104. Where the fuck is 104? What are you doing? Oh, he's trying to get there. Why? Like, you can't get there. Was that successful pathfinding? Why was that successful pathfinding? You should not have been able to successfully find a path there, right? I mean, that path would have been long as fuck. Did you make this all by yourself? I did. Yes. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to run the visual logger a little more diligently to figure out, like, because or maybe I should just log the path every time they're on it, every frame, so I can actually see the path that they're trying to follow. So I only log it when they get the path, and that has led to a desire for more information. Since you mentioned successful pathfinding, remember Dogmeat in Fallout taking out the freeze gun at the start of Fallout 76. I didn't play 76 very much because of how bad it was at launch. So I only really played Fallout 4 that a lot, which I enjoyed immensely. But yeah, that he should not have been able to find a full path there. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm checking if it's partial. He might have found a partial path. Find path. I guess I don't. I guess I don't. Log an error here. Partial path. Dist to end point. I want to know how far is the last point away from where I'm actually trying to go here. Would it be hard to add path visualization? No, I have it. Like I said, I only log the path visualization when they first get the path. So I should just be logging it every time. If it's partial and successful. If it's not successful, then I think that would crash from the last point. Yeah, and then I didn't start the vlogger whenever they got I didn't have the vlogger on whenever they got the path, so I can't see it. Yeah, I thought I was checking for partial paths. And is there options for like accepting those or something? Path instance to fill. Oh. Oh, weird. Swim, fly, jump. Okay. I had no idea that was a thing. Oh, and you can set allow partial paths. Okay, let's also do that. I didn't know that was an option. Although there is like a certain distance away from the endpoint that I would allow a partial path on, right? Like I don't need to get all the way to the point. There is an acceptance radius. I didn't even know these were fucking options. Set require navigable end location. Yes. Yeah. Why would I not want that? Also, I want to project it as well. Well, I should already be projecting the... Oh no, I don't project the end location. I'll have to play around with these settings and see what the result would be. Just read the source code, yeah. Sorry, I don't read the source code for literally every single function that I use, sorry. I'm gonna put true here, but like I said, not every point is going to be exactly on the nav mesh, but that doesn't mean we can't get close enough to it to still like interact with the point or do what we need to do there. So that's why I should probably just handle this myself so that I can determine when that is really, when a partial path can be accepted or not. But I guess for now, like it would just be nice to, yeah, just get rid of them all altogether and then play around with it, play around with the result. Okay, I am gonna get out of here. Oh, go to work. Do some worky work. Is anyone streaming? Oh, Pirate Software is doing game dev, guys. I'm gonna go raid him and his 5,000 viewers. Boy, his peak has fallen. I remember seeing him with like 14K people or something. I'm gonna send you guys over to IGS Ghost, who popped in just a few moments ago, who's working on a hunting game in Unreal Engine. So say hello to him for me. Good stream. Thank you. Yeah. Welcome in. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.